we take that back.
Back to one.
I want to welcome all of you back. Welcome back to a new. We're fucking.
Go back. Back to one.
Welcome back to a new. Welcome to a new season of Failsafe. My name is Vince Casso.
Run it again!
I am your DM for this. I'm your DM dealing with time travel in every fucking game I run for this campaign.
Wait, are we doing cusses?
This
Games? Oh yeah, we're doing cusses.
This is Season 5, Episode 1 of Campaign 2, and is titled A Cost in Time. This show utilizes the D&D 5e game system in my homebrew setting of Boros, and is completed by a wonderful cast of adventurers. Let's meet them, starting for the first time with Abria.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Hi, I'm Abria. I'm playing Kai. I know I did look that way, but there's nothing here. Actually, you know what? Sorry, I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm playing your changeling bard, and everything's different now, so I will not adjust the camera anymore.
She was looking at camera. Can we run the intro?
No. Back to one.
No. Hi. I'm Gina. I'm playing Poppy, the fire genasi. My pronouns are she, her, and so are Poppy's. Kais are anything that they fucking want.
Wow. Right.
Oh, look, Smooch.
Hi, I'm Anthony. I'll be playing Klulik, your honest, forthright, and caring Aarakocra monk. We are both he, him.
Which way does it go?
It goes to me. Hello. I forgot.
Hi.
Hi. Hello. My name is Kaylee Brand. I'll be playing Ella Britt, your turtle death cleric. Both our pronouns are she, her.
Hi, I'm Sage Ryan, and it still feels weird to say that I am playing Effie, your Kalistar Chronergy wizard, and we both use she, her pronouns.
Yay!
And I'm Xander Genre playing Kettle, your Water Genasi barbarian investigator.
And remember that you, my friends at home, have a fecund amount of power
I feel
over
like you
our
cut
story.
off Xander, and I'm sad about it.
Yeah.
Please.
I'm sorry, were you not
Please
done?
don't speak over television,
I thought we
Xander
were upset that we
genre.
did second.
I was going to say my catchphrase. Here we go.
You know what? Worth it. Actually,
No, that is his catchphrase. I've heard him say it. I've heard him say it.
as far as the donos go, we're doing something a little silly for our dono tiers this week, you know, against our usual drain. You see, our beloved Poppy rewound time in our last episode in an attempt to redo this day to a more ideal outcome, and in light of that, our tiers are effectively the opposites of what they were in that episode. To wit, with our very first tier, with our very first
He called you
tier,
a fecund enemy.
I get it. Pride
this is
Month's
important
over.
for all of you as well. With our very first tier, you can bank up rerolls, but they are all for the DM instead of the player.
Ooh.
For our second tier, you can grant a player that you choose a useful magical item. For our third tier, you choose a player to kick off a The Office-style confessional cam, but from the viewpoint of that character before the rewind, when things were still a bit shit. For our
Good,
fourth,
so we have to remember things.
Boy.
don't worry, we have a 20-minute long recap. For our fourth tier, you can, in contrast to make it mimic from last episode, temporarily make a creature, NPC, or object into a thing. Just a regular, old, actual thing.
The reverse Beauty and the Beasting.
Yes, that's the first name we went with, but
No,
didn't test well.
I mean,
It was the word
Technically,
beasting. It was beasting. Didn't test
technically,
well.
it's an in-order Beauty and the Beasting because they did turn into first, and
Right.
then
So the
But
people.
just take the
So
people
when
out
it's
of it.
actually the opposite is make it a mimic.
And
It
with our
actually
final
has
tier.
the antithesis.
But in terms of Beauty and the Beast, where are we?
Right.
Back at the last
With our final tier, you can kick off a corporate pact. opposite of Fey Pact, where one player of your choice will get a temporary buff or a nerf and have to serve as brand ambassador for a fantasy or fake corporation of your choice, or you can leave it up to the player themselves to come up with something as well. I believe many of them do have some options
Was
they've
that
brought.
one made specifically to hurt me?
Yeah, specifically.
Nothing I love more than being
and
a brand ambassador.
Very importantly, if we hit our goal tonight, it will trigger the reappearance of a dear old friend of us all, a character from campaign 1 of Failed Save, who will take this plot into an entirely new direction at the end of the episode.
Hey, I wasn't here for that.
Campaign 1.
What?
Not episode 1.
Okay.
You were there for almost the entire first
Look, we
campaign.
keep calling things different things. I don't know what any of it was.
Yeah, just
You
different
missed
words with different
very
meanings.
little. We did a total of like a few episodes.
Yeah. I just don't want to be responsible for information I wasn't there for.
No,
You're
don't
right,
worry,
right,
Bria.
right.
You don't have to worry about the 4 episodes you were in this cast for.
But for now, it is time for a story and a vital recap. Our last episode, the finale of our prior season, found our heroes arriving in the city of Gestauch, a wondrous sight displaying the mixed architecture of the orcs and dragonborn, both natural and refined, organic and artificial. Our heroes disembarked from their wagon and separated from Kinth and Urbara, who were helping to ferry them down south. Next met by a familiar friend they had met in Kalangua, Guern of the Scion Verk, who had invited them to town for the orc moot. Led through the thriving city, Guern then led them all out into a clearing by the coast on the city's outskirts. On it, a grand space made for these very meetings of the orcish families, and at its center, a grand humanoid topiary, posed and symbolic in highly ceremonial fashion. They'd arrived 2 weeks early, however, and were given time to see to their own ends within the city until it came time for the meeting. Be it training in combat, exploring magical and familial mysteries, performing Kilonian wetwork, tinkering with musical cubes, romantically affiliating with the local nobility, and more. Closing in on the day of the moot, they further met an orcish woman by the name of Guern, the face of, that text is blocking my notes, the face or leader of the kin group known as the Oranin. She beseeched the party to lend their voices to the annihilation of spring during the moot. And so came that very meeting. Orcish leaders from all over Tareve arrived en masse to discuss and debate the problem of spring. They were awoken on the day just shy of noon and ceremonially prepared for the event. The various representatives of the orc coalitions spoke, the hedge in the center of the clearing transforming to match their bodies, to move as they did and project their voices. Guern made his impassioned plea for contemplation, to solve the problem of dew without disrupting the essence of the wilds. Guern made her plea for thoroughness and annihilation, but ultimately passed the floor to our heroes. Many persuasive cases were made, everyone weighing in their own way, but at the end of it all, the moot came down to a vote. In an improbably narrow split, the moot voted to go in on the all-out war against the spring.
Hell yeah!
Consequences be damned, with very mixed reactions from our team. It was at this moment, however, that our heroes noticed something was off. Finally, it dawned on them. The topiary in the center of the clearing no longer mirrored the movements of those speaking, and instead watched with a vicious smile and lilac eyes before striking the earth. Spears of wood and thorns slew orcs by the dozen, and the party was swept into pitched battle. As it raged, the screams of yet more innocents could be heard in the town beyond, as more creatures of spring invaded at the scion's apparent command. The party fought valiantly, but outfitted with bone armor and a lethal tenacity, the scion was making short work of them. Things were looking dire until Poppy focused her mind, dug deep for a power that she'd been holding for some time, and then we...
Fossey.
Dance battle.
We need one more day. Poppy, From voice to echo, the words leave your lips. Your eyes flutter open the next moment, and you feel pressure. You open your mouth to speak, to breathe, but you cannot. You're underwater, sinking slowly, your body battered and dashed. You see sunlight far above, refracting over a choppy surface, occasionally blotted by debris. Your long, thick strands of densely braided hair trail in the water before you. Your eyes slowly close, and you awake. You take in your surroundings. You are in the ceremonial and residential chambers beneath the great lattice of root, wood, and vine that forms the floor of the orcs' outdoor meeting space, that very clearing in which the moot took place. But the battle? No. Scant beams of orange light sharply angle into this chamber. It's morning. That battle has not yet taken place. The spell worked. What do you do?
Hi, hello? Is anyone there?
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
Good morning.
Oh, I throw my arms around you and I say this.
Oh, you don't need to say that you're throwing your arms around me
But
as you
I-
throw your arms around me,
but
but I
I
like
did.
it.
Do you
I
re-
appreciate not being surprised.
Hang on, what day is it?
It's Christmas Day.
What is Christmas?
I don't know. I just thought it would be funny. It's the day of the moot. Moot. Mute?
Do
Moot.
you not know?
Moot.
Moot.
Yeah.
Moot. Yes.
Moot.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you know? You don't know?
The answer to that, I'll step in for a moment here, as the rest of you also awaken, hearing the shouts of Poppy echoing through this chamber. You all are similarly in this ceremonial space that was used, provided for you as accommodations while you were in town. And you take note of the hour, and you all also retain memories from before time was turned back. All of you remember what you had just been through, and the fact that you are now not in that situation again. You are also waking up a bit earlier than you did last time. Before, perhaps it was 10 a.m. when you got up. Now, I would say closer to 7.
When you're asking, do I know?
Yes.
Are you asking about the giant evil tree lady?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, but it hasn't happened.
It was a dream? Was it? That was a very real.
Hi. You're all awake. Hi.
Hey, hi. I woke up
it
in
worked.
the bed from yesterday. What is happening?
It worked.
Now, waking up in the bed from yesterday is not weird. But the shared memory of a giant tree lady is
No, I'm
weird.
pretty sure.
Yeah.
Time changing. It makes perfect sense to me. That
know about
that happened. That was absolutely real.
Yes, it
and
happened.
I think
I thought that was your
died.
thing. What?
You
Well,
died?
you died.
I think I might have died a little.
What? A little.
Like
I
a
remember.
That's why I turned it back.
You did that?
And I'm just gonna throw my arms around Poppy.
Why
too.
is everybody saying that before they do it today?
Consent.
It's good to announce before you touch.
No, that's fair.
It's a called shot.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you do that? Have you always been able to do that?
I don't think so. I just kind of thought it really hard, and then my body kind of tingled, and my toes went numb, and then I woke up. But I drowned a little bit first.
Okay.
Drowning.
Yes,
that's
I think that
terrible.
one was a dream.
All right.
What do we remember? What do we know? What did we do?
This is our chance.
Give me the seat back.
The seed. Is it on me?
You do still have the bone seed.
Okay. I throw it to the ground.
Oh!
I-
Hey, try to catch the
And a
bean.
femur just
I catch the bean. I cut it up.
roll a dex save.
How thinly do
Roll
you
a dex
cut it?
save.
I cut it so thin in little tiny pieces. So it
We'll
can.
see. Roll it.
I don't know if I can.
See how thinly
Are
you can cut
seeds?
it.
Seed, bean,
What's the difference?
What is
Take
it?
it.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit of a bean.
What is a bean?
bean shape.
But a
Bit of a
seed.
bean.
Okay, what did you say? Dex?
Roll a dex save to see how well you catch that bean.
Okay, great.
Okay,
That bean.
what is she rolling to see how thinly she slices it?
Oh,
We'll see.
that's it's at 11.
Oh, not bad.
Ooh,
Oh,
okay.
no.
It's above 10. I'd say you can indelicately catch the bean.
Okay.
That said, though,
You
I
look
destroy
real
it.
dumb doing
and
it.
how do you
I look
choose?
really stupid.
How do you choose to destroy it? What's your plan there?
What weapons do I have? It doesn't get to
Here,
grow.
I have a dagger.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Whoa.
in case you want to slice
Does
that up
anyone
really
want a little
thinly.
piece?
I don't know if
Can
we should be
you
eating
describe
it.
for me how you're slicing
I
it?
slice it really thinly, like this. I thinly slice it. I take my finger and I cut it.
Can I
into
see
little pieces.
daylight on the other side of the bean?
Oh.
I would like to give Bardic inspiration so she can slice this bean really good.
Okay. Just
Oh,
a
yeah.
silly idea.
This is for no one.
That's
for
for me. Okay. Wait. When we gave the bean,
Yes.
I'll say, to the plant, it got very strong. If we
It was
all
bone armor.
eat a little piece of the bean,
Yes.
will we all get very
Yes,
strong?
here, take a piece.
I'm
That's
sure
for
Hold
you.
on, I've got. Please let me check
I've-
something.
Take a piece.
Can I Arcana check this idea?
Take a piece.
Yeah, roll it.
Take a piece.
Take a piece.
Take a piss.
Take a piss.
Are you handing them to us on little toothpicks,
Take a
though?
piss.
Yeah.
a 15?
Okay. I'll say you feel that this will very possibly work, but in working, it's going to be a 50-50 on what happens, and they're not all good outcomes.
And we don't have rerolls today.
Oh no. It's
hey,
a hard
But
day.
you know who does?
fully.
Gross.
It's a coin toss. It's a coin toss.
I've always been real good at that.
It's an emergency.
Oh, God.
No, boy.
Look, all I'm saying is, on one toothpick I have this little slice of bean, and on the other one I have this real nub of a cigar, and I just feel like the two of them would go super well together.
Okay.
You shouldn't eat that.
No, the cigar I
and bean.
smoke on the little toothpick.
Guy. Yeah.
We need to warn everybody.
About the cigar?
No, about the scion.
Did you just roll a natural one?
No, I didn't.
Oh my god! Oh, good.
I want to take a moment here. Who eats the bean slice?
I'll eat a bean
I
slice.
like the
We're all
bean slice.
doing the bean
We're all
slice?
doing
Yeah.
it.
I'll eat a bean slice.
Yeah,
if
We're
there's
all
bean
being
that,
it.
slice.
baby. Yeah.
It's like a Listerine strip, like
Yeah.
you melt in.
But it's so rare I
have
have
to have
bones
it in
inside
these
of me.
That's really true.
Hey.
You know?
Everyone, roll me. Let's do actually an Arcana check to see how well you can focus the magic of this.
no.
I'm targeting Xander.
Yeah, 9.
Oh no!
And so, Kay, whatever you rolled, you can apply to the Arcana there.
Okay, yeah, let me check
I
that
might be
real
good at
fast. Arcana, I am!
As a wizard, one would
I'm
hope.
bad at Arcana, but I'm good at rolls, baby.
I've not rolled above a 10
You can
yet.
you can use your. I gave you Bardic
You
Inspiration.
did. You did.
So
I
I made a good roll, weirdly. It's probably the only one I'm ever going to make this whole season.
So, show of hands.
yeah.
Everyone who is 11 through 20
Well, no. I'm at 21.
or above. Wait, so only Xander didn't?
I feel very attacked.
You targeted Xander and you got Xander.
It's true.
got-
like-
It's a D10
Called
actually.
shot.
I was hoping to cast a bit of a wider net there.
know.
All right, so
Xander shaped.
all of you who consume the bean slice,
Yes.
take a temporary +1 to your AC as your skin just hardens a little bit and gets a teeny bit bony.
I feel hard though.
What could possibly go wrong?
Xander,
Yeah.
however,
Already pretty
I'm
bony.
sorry, Kettle.
Thank you.
You you feel your water hardening a little bit.
Ice? That's ice.
No.
No.
You feel a no. You feel a stiffening in your pipes, so to speak.
Calcium?
You are calcifying,
Ah.
essentially. And you find that your movement speed is also temporarily cut in half
Half?
as you have to chug along for a little bit. Look, you ate the bean, my dude.
I did. It
We're
was-
all quite literally full of
Everyone ate the
Nothing.
bean. But no bonus to AC. Just movement.
waste any
half.
time.
You know what? I love you, buddy. Take it.
Give it to
Take
me!
it.
Thank
It's
you.
my favorite.
It's only fair.
Thanks. +1?
+1. It wasn't on purpose. It's a very full cup.
Uh-huh.
And I will not stop doing it. However,
Sorry, podcast listeners.
I also want to say, Kettle,
Yes.
as you were throwing that bean down,
Oh.
you noticed, well, that, yeah, both directions, truly.
Both directions.
Because you tossed the bean. Listen, we're moving on.
Maybe we should go back to calling it a seed.
It is a seed.
Yeah.
You tossed your
not like
seed.
that's bean shaped.
and
Worse.
The seed.
It got worse.
You tossed it. and at your feet you see something. In fact, it looks like a little, almost like a flyer or a notice or a pamphlet for something that you uncovered in the violence of your toss, just like beneath your left foot.
Literature, you know. Oh, look.
I forgot you're a reedy one.
Effie's just like,
Oh, I said the L word.
And Xander, you have found your kettle.
Thank you.
You have found yourself stumbling into a corporate pact.
Oh,
no!
Oh, wow.
Do you happen to have a company that you would like to represent?
Well, first of all, of course, it's Shimmy Stan.
Aw,
Classic.
if that was on all your lists, I swear to God.
sure isn't.
Number one, best
Absolutely
laid
not.
plans.
I forgot
Yeah.
to do my
But what?
assignment.
However,
Yeah.
I'm also willing to work with you on this for a moment here. I'm gonna roll a die, and we're gonna see if this is going to be
working with me. I
helpful
guess.
or hurtful
Oh,
to you. You're already at half speed, so this will be fun.
Oh God.
Oh, it's good for you.
good.
Brand
It's good for you, buddy.
sponsorship can be bad.
Can confirm.
Have you never had a brand sponsorship?
Art imitates life.
I'm not famous. Famous me. Thank you. Sponsor me.
Kettle, what does Shimmy Stand mean to you?
Give you $1 right now.
Well, Kettle has never met Shimmy Stan, and Shimmy Stan at this point is
true.
only a legend. And,
Dead as hell.
A dead
yeah,
one.
yes, and so just being inspired by someone who was so tenacious. There were bootstraps involved, I'm sure, in the forming of his empire.
He actually inherited a lot of wealth from a grandfather.
Cool. I'm glad that I didn't know
Of
that.
course.
You've ruined Shimmy Stan.
However,
Did he sell branded bootstraps like little?
Yeah.
you
I
do
always wait for
remark
that
on
part
Shimmy
of the
Stan's
profile.
tenacity,
Ah.
and you find that you are yourself also tenacious.
Oh no!
You-
Wait, Shimmy Stan was super strong and fast, and that's a lot of
You
HP.
have gained the ability where if you drop to 0 HP,
Yeah.
you will jump back up
Second win.
to half hit points one
Oh.
time.
Oh, I'll take it.
That's cute as hell.
Yes.
We gotta get brand
Yeah,
sponsorships.
yeah.
I say that
that's
all
good.
the time.
Meanwhile, so as you all get up and you're milling about, chatting a bit, you do hear a groan of woven wood, and you see as Guern.
It's not
Nothing.
the heck.
We took it back. You see as Guern descends the ramp into the chamber. He's already dressed ceremonially for the day to come. Loose-fitting linens woven with embroideries of vines that, as they circle up his torso, gradually transition into real living vines that terminate into little blooming flowers all around his shoulders, the color of the rainbow.
Guern, you look wonderful.
That is a very nice outfit.
This is absolutely gorgeous. I have to ask you, do these things normally begin like right on time, a moot? They begin like right on time, or is it was like a little wiggle room?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Do you remember?
Do I remember
Did you have a dream that the mood already happened?
No.
Dang it, oh no.
We gotta chop
dreamed-
down that tree.
Oh, yes. They always start at noon.
Okay,
The
that's
moot goes from 12 to 12.
All right.
Okay.
What are we doing and why?
What? Okay, so here's a thing that we've just been thinking. If we were gonna spitball here, we're worried about spring, and we're worried about spring, and they're taking over plants, and they're doing planty bad things. How important is Big Leaf Lady to you?
The
It's a very
Sculpture?
large leaf woman.
Yeah. Sweetheart.
Oh, well, we've had the sculpture here for many, many hundreds of years. It helps to
I
facilitate
was hoping you were
the
gonna say
moot.
weeks. I was hoping you were gonna say like a few
Okay,
weeks.
if you would just give us a moment.
It lets people's voices. It's a large group. You can be heard by the entire group.
Could I lend you just like a cone maybe for this one?
What is the matter with the
Maybe
hedge?
we should all consult.
Can you give us just a moment?
Sure.
You look great. We'll
Thank
be
you.
right back.
We're having a moot.
Yeah,
A
we'll have a
mini
mini
moot.
moot. A little mini moot, real quick. We have to find a way to explain to them why their hundreds of year old, like, prized plant is evil, and I don't think they're just going to inherently believe that we all had.
Well, that's a good plan for you,
That's the
Squire.
thing. I don't know if it's inherently evil or if it just sort of got possessed that day.
So do you think if we chop down the tree that it'll just take something
It
else
might just take a
instead?
different bush.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, but that's the biggest bush, though.
People
Like,
get mad when
That
you
is the
kill their
scariest
trees.
bush.
Kill all the bushes.
Y'all, hold on.
They do, right?
Hold on.
yes.
We know where the scion's gonna be, right?
Yes.
And we've got this big, very easy target for it to appear in, right?
We do know that. Yes.
We trap it.
That's
And it won't be bone armored.
right. Okay. That's very good. Okay.
Speaking
but the
of which,
people
I
should
don't
know.
feel so good. Everyone
feel
else
great.
feels
I
okay.
feel excellent, actually. Better than ever.
Great bean.
You're looking a little more viscous.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah, that's the word I would use.
moving a little.
It's
slow.
honey-esque.
Okay.
Don't love that.
If you want, I could tell them that I saw it in time or something. I have all my time books.
We did.
Right.
Well, I'm surprised
But
it was
rather
you
than
that
saying
did
we
that.
rewound time and it already happened,
Oh.
it could be like a prediction.
Yeah. Sure. I love that.
How?
So that everybody can protect themselves. Just so everybody's prepared to fight.
I think the best thing to do is tell the closest thing to the truth you possibly can in a situation like this. We are worried Big Leaf Lady is a target of spring. We have had a vision.
You're
She
concerned
had a vision.
Spring will try to destroy the sculpture?
No. Effie had a premonition that the scion of spring inhabits the big leaf lady, and you all died.
She'll use it as kind of like a portal,
Like a vessel.
conduit, yeah,
Yes.
into where we are during the moot, where all of you are gathered.
You get ambushed.
I'm absolutely certain.
Literally.
Ambushed.
Ambushed. I didn't even mean to.
Hey,
I go for high five.
I'm absolutely certain that the scion of spring is going to attack through your plant lady, and you're all in trouble. And I don't want you to be in trouble. I think that would be very bad.
Is there any way that we can postpone the moot until
No.
tomorrow?
We can't postpone or let them know anything that we've caught on. If we want the trap to work, it has to go as planned.
Everyone should be here, but be prepared to fight. If anyone can't fight, the plant lady, maybe they should stay somewhere protected. I don't want children or elderly people.
I appreciate the intel, and certainly you seem like someone who would be aware of such things.
I feel a butt coming on.
I hold up my time book.
I wondered how such a thing were possible, as we have quite extensive protections in place to those kinds of incursions from without. But
Didn't you say that there? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, that's
Sorry?
in questions.
What kind of protections?
the entire city is very carefully warded so that there can be no breach from the Fae inside of the...
Incorrect. It doesn't work.
Yes? That's not how it
Bobby.
I didn't want to.
Yeah, go.
Is there any concern that there is an inside critter? A mole?
Would somebody? How many syllables
How many
do you
O's
think
are
are in
in
that?
I counted at least 4 when I heard
Oh,
it.
Is that not how you spell it?
I'm not from where you're from. Could somebody, if they got in here, who was on the side of the Fae, could they perhaps help something like that to happen?
I confess to not being the authority on such magics, but I suppose that could be possible.
I think it's worth checking into. When she sees stuff, it's usually the real deal.
Well, then, what
Well,
would
we
you...
kind of all saw it, too.
If you do believe the
Big dream
topiary
energy.
will be a future threat, a vessel for the scion, what
I'd
would
call
be your
that
plan?
imminent.
Imminent, yes.
What would be your plan to prevent that?
Well,
We don't.
The scion of spring has caused us quite a lot of trouble. Mostly the rest of you, I'm sorry. But we should be prepared to trap it here. I also think we should maybe talk about how the rest of it went.
Let's put a pin in that while we're talking to Guern right now.
Do you have a way to contain it?
Great question, Guern. And here's where
Thank
I
you.
think we might want you're all very in tune with nature and magic and stuff, and maybe you could help us figure that out.
I think we got it, sweetheart.
I will caution you, our magics are primarily from spring.
Useless.
Yeah. Okay, bud.
Useless.
Okay, bud. Useless enough to pound your ass into the ground.
Damn. Whoa.
Okay,
We did get very beaten.
wait.
I was getting my second wind.
It looked like if there was like a number of blood drops left in all of your bodies,
Yeah.
I would say like less than 10.
Yeah, I bleed water, baby.
Here's the problem.
Is that like a nationalist thing? I don't understand what that means.
I see it though. Everybody's so divided. Everybody wasn't together, able to agree on it, and so many of us got hurt because of it. I don't want any of you to die.
Oh, we're on the same page.
I agree.
I can't die.
Okay.
I'm invincible.
I don't know about
Oh,
that,
that's-
bud.
Hey, why don't we let him have this one?
I don't know. You already got sick from swallowing a bean. I think we need to make him a little more realistic
Might
about
have a delicate
things.
constitution, actually.
Yeah, that's fair.
I
I can
think
just see it floating inside his bicep.
How did it get there?
I think that we would like to
Digestion.
reconvene with you before you said the mood is due to start at noon.
Noon, you
The
have
moon
time.
is due to start at noon.
Mood is due to start at noon. Mood is due. And if there's anybody you could alert on your end, perhaps, that could help us with reorganization or anything.
I'm going to be speaking with the heads of the families to.
Just so I know where you're coming from.
It?
Yeah.
Was it Chamber? I have so many random names written down.
I'm sorry?
Nothing. I'm talking to the
ShamWow.
DM.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Is there somebody named ShamWow at the meeting?
Who was the head of the? Yeah, who was the head of the
Shouldn't it
meeting? Was it Chamber?
That was
Oh, it was
Guern.
It was
Of
Guern.
the Schaumwerk. Is his,
Oh,
like, his
got
title.
I would also actually love
Yeah.
to ask an above game question. That was he ended up voting in favor of killing the spring, right?
No.
He voted against it.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was one against.
Noted.
No, it was good because I was gonna say the same. Like, we know how you're going to vote.
Yeah.
Oh,
So there.
We actually know how everyone's going to vote if it helps. Because here's what I was going to ask. Are you leaning towards we sound a little bit bonkers right now, or do you feel like we're pretty trustworthy on this one?
I mean, as a matter of principle, my people travel across entire continents in mere hours through holes in trees.
Bit of a humble brag, but okay.
It's not beyond reckoning that such a thing as a seeing of the future could be possible.
Oh, thank goodness they're weird.
Well,
Almost as weird as us.
if anybody needs any reassurance or proof, we do know how things will unfold throughout the day, and we can confirm with people.
If nothing else, the spring has proven to be industrious in their efforts and quite clever in finding ways around our protections in the past. So I will need to confer with some others to see if there perhaps could be any intrusion from within that we had missed.
Well, it sounds like you weren't the only ones that traveled via tree hole.
Wait, no, that's you put a good button on it.
Tree.
Yeah, we can lock that. We can lock that.
Yeah, no, that was great.
Slightly fewer O's
Less
than
O's. Yeah.
Meaning the scion. They take over the. Okay.
Oh, I'm tracking. I'm on board.
I followed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No,
Follow.
we're just gonna go ahead and all of us. We'll just say that that Kettle got the last word on this one.
Yeah.
We'll see you in a little while.
I'm in favor of that, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Here we go.
Actually, Ella, can I have a word
Oh, you're mono.
a word with me.
with you?
Sure, sweetheart.
It would be very weird if I asked you for a word with someone else. If I was like, Ella, can I have a word? You'd be like, with me, and I was like, no, with Poppy.
Honestly,
It's a weird day.
I could probably. I'm not gonna take anything for granted at this moment in time.
I'm going to pat you on the shoulder.
Thank you, I like that.
We're going to walk away.
Yeah. What can I help you with?
Ella, everything went very poorly.
It did.
And I know that I want it to go differently. Do you?
You're very observant. I think that this is going to be maybe one of my only chances to trap the scion.
Okay. I think I mean, the vote.
I didn't care as much about that vote because I wanted the scion and I wanted Dew.
That makes sense.
If I can get the scion, sweetheart, if I can trap the scion, if I can do what I was so close to accomplishing before Poppy turned everything back.
Well, kind of. A bunch of people actually died. It wasn't going very well.
I was very close to accomplishing what I needed to trap the scion.
But
and as long as I am able to do that, the vote then doesn't matter to me.
Ella, I hear what you're saying, and I understand how important that is, and I've picked up a good amount of why this is so important to you, but is it worth letting the rest of your friends die?
No.
It just seems like you like you were more concerned with the death of the scion than the life of the people who love you very much.
Right now, I am.
Oh. Well, I'd really like to not die.
And I don't think you will.
And I'd really like for Klulik and Poppy and Kettle and Kai to not die as well, and also you very much. So, and also all of the many orcs, and the people of the spring. I don't want any of them to die. Can we try really hard to make sure that everyone lives except for the scion and Dew? Please, Ella, I'm very scared.
I understand that. And I gotta be honest, I'm not feeling much of anything lately. And that
I know.
I understand how that can be a concern. But I can also say that I'm not gonna stand in the way of anybody not dying. I am gonna be focused on the scion. And I'm not gonna insist that we go on some kind of burning rampage through the Feywild if I get the scion. That's what I want. That's what I'm here for.
Okay. I know that you're somewhat elsewhere, but
I am.
We really need you here.
And I'm here and I'm serving a purpose. I cannot promise to be focused on the goal of saving lives at the moment, sweetheart. It's just not. I have spent almost my whole life, and that is my whole goal, is saving lives. And I have been tragically unsuccessful. So we're going to try a new goal for a little bit. And if I am able to focus on the thing that I need and that I want, my goal will not be genocide.
Okay, good.
But it will be justice.
Less good, but good. Less good than not. Okay.
That's the most I can promise. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, right?
I hope you get to get back to helping people after.
We'll see.
Thank you, Miss Ella.
Have you ever heard this song?
I gotta be honest, you're giving me the headache now.
I'm sorry.
It's
Clueless.
okay.
Roll me an Arcana check.
Sure.
I still feel salt water in my throat for some reason. I don't feel good.
you think the bean was salty? It's a 14.
Okay. You notice as you drum your little ditty on the cube, it actually does almost imperceptibly react. There's just a single line that gently traces from the center of one side to the edge, and then stops.
I was being very gentle.
I know, but I think tapping on it for the last months cracked it.
Are you just trying to get me to stop tapping on it?
Yes.
I can do it. Are you kind of? I think this might be actually progress, and you think so too, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I thought you might. I'm gonna pat you on the shoulder again.
Okay, thank you. It's a weird day. I'm having a wild moment right now.
I am literally full of bean.
Full of bean.
Just one bean.
Flulick.
Yes.
You also can't help but notice, even just as you were drumming on the cube, your eyes, looking past it, catch sight of something just in front of you. It looks like something almost like it were gift wrapped.
Oh, I refuse.
There's a label on it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I can't refuse the label.
I guess that's how that
It
works.
says,
You can't know if it's labeled. It's labeled.
Stress to you.
in greatest need, by the honest and forthright.
Oh, that's me.
Oh.
You got mail?
It's like a little present.
Do we get mail in
We
this
can
world?
get mail?
What is mail? What's the technology level of this world?
I think I got a present. Should I open it?
Maybe it's from the box. Maybe tapping it made a present.
It's a
Quick,
present
open it.
box.
Open it, open it, open it.
Nasik owns so hard.
Oh,
Oop. You're new. It doesn't matter.
Inside, you see
Either.
it reveals a soft box, a soft case with lettering across the front that says "Thirst Aid Kit."
That was exactly for Gina.
I want one of those in my car at all times.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
I'm not thirsty right now.
What was it?
It says it's a thirst aid kit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For hydration.
I don't know.
I'm not thirsty.
Yeah, I'm not thirsty either.
Kettle, are you thirsty?
I have once a day
Always.
X-ray vision. Can I see what's inside it?
Fuck, I don't even know. Yes, please.
Yeah.
So you use your X-ray specs, your one a day,
Yep.
to.
There's no spectacle. It's just my eyes.
Uh,
Why are we making it weird? It looks cool and sexy when I do it.
Ooh.
I see it. It's very sexy.
Absolutely. sweetheart.
Why did I yell that? Why are we all yelling stuff before we do it?
Do you want me to pat you on the shoulder?
Like a little bit, yeah.
It's for the podcast.
Thank you.
The what?
sorry.
The what?
I'm sorry. My face hurts.
There's what looks like a bottle of liquid or water of some kind, a little box of what could be either pills or mints. There appears to be some kind of bandage or restraint. As Poppy's looking
I'm
over your shoulder
invested.
through your eyes.
Yeah.
What it keeps
Are you looking through my eyes?
And some similar sundry
your ear?
of such
Yeah.
sorts.
How is this working?
Little mirror?
Yeah.
It's working.
You're like a kaleidoscope.
Thanks.
It's
Cool.
heavily distorted, but it's there.
I described none of that. I just wanted you to be able to describe it because it looked like you wanted to.
Oh no.
Was that the
Thank you.
vibe? Because no.
You know what? Thank you. I love you for
Yeah.
it. Above game, what's the
Yes.
plan to head back outside? What are you doing next to like follow this through?
Well,
I
think
we
I'm
rejoined
gonna-
the group.
I would love to chat with Alec. It's like, you seem like you have a bit of a plan. What is the plan?
I have something I've been working on that I actually was very close to finishing.
Yes, you were doing it, but then Effie went dead. So,
I understand.
That's
Yes.
not on you.
but now what were you doing? You were drawing something.
I was drawing a magic circle because I needed to hold the scion for a moment.
Well, now we have plenty of time.
Well, how
I
long's
do.
a moment?
Well, technically, in order to cast the spell, the true spell I wanted to cast, I needed at least an hour.
We
Oh,
might
that
have
would
have
not
time.
been had. Oh, yes.
It's 7 a.m.?
Mm-hmm.
yes. We
We
have
got
time
5
now.
hours.
So I think it depends on whether the scion is already there listening and waiting, or
but
the
even
scion
then-
is summoned at the end of the moot.
Even then, I can prep that magic circle and activate it when it appears, and then I can take the time that I need to cast.
And now that we know what...
Sorry,
now
hold
that
on.
we know...
No. And cast.
Oh, I have a.
What's the other spell?
I can bind the scion to this plane,
And
Is
then,
that good?
and then we chop it up.
and then it has to obey me.
How long?
That is
Like full?
Hang on, that's an excellent question.
Yo, can I get
know
an insight check on her?
right off the top of my
She
head.
It's for
different.
24 hours.
It is 24 hours, right?
Yeah, roll it. And are you attempting to deceive Kai's analysis of your disposition there?
Let me just make sure.
I rolled bad, so don't
Just so you know, I read it like yesterday to make sure. I knew
No,
what
I'm
you
making
could
sure.
do.
I want to see if I needed to hide anything about this spell.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, no, it has to follow my instructions to the best of its ability.
And what was your roll?
9.
I'm telling the truth. I mean, that's my
That's
goal
an
for
honest
it.
turtle.
So
Now
what do you want to do? What do you want to make it do?
I want to know how I can use the scion to. I want to break its. I want to do a couple things actually. I want to find Squangarla. I want to. Who?
Sorry.
not old
I
Never
want-
mind, you're new.
I want to find a way, and I want to find a way to break its connection to do, because that's one of the way. Like we have, it's so connected to do. Do is using it as. We heard that, right? It was
Yes.
some kind of a conduit, and so it's a way for Do to enter this plane, which he hasn't been able. Like the Phalors are not supposed to be able to do that, right? He's trying to use the scion in his madness to wreak even more havoc here.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's why the scion keeps coming back and we can't kill her,
But-
is because she's connected to Do.
Isn't this scion isn't Squangarlo in the scion?
But
Yeah,
I can
maybe
find out.
Maybe the scion can tell us.
And if the scion can break that, or knows how to save him or end his suffering at the very least, like one or the other, right? I just like this limbo is what I would like to stop.
And
Okay.
if
She
things
can tell us.
And then if we get the scion and she tells us how to stop Do, we don't have to go to war.
Yeah.
I mean, now that we know that that's
Right?
what you're doing, we can protect you better. We can make sure we can run interference and make sure you get this spell off.
Well, sweetheart, I can have the spell already almost prepped, and then if we time it correctly at 59:59, we can just it pops in and planar binding just happens. I can just finish the spell
When
with that
Poppy
magic circle.
says we don't have to go to war, I've got my eyes like fixed on Kai. Can I like insight check to see if I like pick up anything of your reaction to Poppy saying we don't have to go to war? That's a nat 20.
Amazing. For a total of what?
That's a whole changeling right there.
The best sentence
bard.
ever uttered.
All right. I'm not particularly good at insight. That's a 22.
I got 17 on my deception, or sorry, 17 on the dice on my deception check for a 30. I see nothing.
Damn.
So you don't react at all?
Imperceptibly.
Because I can still look at you.
Yeah.
Your eyes turn off.
No.
Sorry, Effie, you blinked.
I think what you see is all of that like ferocity is focused very pointedly on Ella. That like she's not giving anything away about like whether or not there will be a war.
Okay.
But that she is worried about this more than she's worried about everything that she said yesterday during the moot.
Got it. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else you want to know? I'll tell you whatever. I just wanted to roll it.
Maybe if you want to hold hands.
I
Effie,
obviously look like I want to hold hands. My hands feel a little twitchy.
the magic circle, it lasts for, I believe, and like some time also. So if I needed to activate that magic circle and then cast the spell, I could do it.
Okay.
Because it's an hour. The magic circle lasts
So
an
we have
hour.
a plan, and the horror could end today.
I'm going to stay here and watch over you while you make the circle. I mean, we don't know, like Klulik was saying, whether it comes later or it's already in there.
At the very least, I can cast a magic circle, or I can prepare the magic circle around the what were you calling it? Large leaf lady?
Yeah.
Leaf lady.
Big leaf lady.
Big leaf lady.
But
yeah.
here, but
The
yeah,
ambusher.
that's the thing that we want.
Alright,
That's the thing that we
good.
want to know
Alright.
is if our presence or anybody else's presence just alerts it, or if it just happens during the mood, if it's listening. We just want to be prepared for anything.
You doing it?
I will say at the very
But
least,
I can
one
just wander
thing
the garden in a circle.
One thing you
Nobody's seen me
recall
doing anything.
from the prior day, or even like your prior time in the town, is Guern had taken you on a tour of the clearing, and you got a very, very close look at the sculpture, the hedge sculpture, going right up to her. And even during the Oops All Donos episode, prior to this.
Available now on YouTube.com.
Brought to you by Shimmy Stan.
Oh man.
You also were like
Corporate pack.
directly interfacing with the hedge lady in a way that was like you were, getting in the leaves and all that. So you have had a very close look already.
Okay.
Because I don't think that it was here just to kill us. I think it
No.
wanted to kill everybody, so it would wait until the most people are gathered.
Absolutely. It's probably after. I mean, there are so many leaders that are coming. It's after the big guns.
And these are the people who hold some of the greatest risk to the spring, because they are literally deciding whether or not to go to war against it.
But they are the most in favor of protecting Dew. I think this is very strange to note that Dew attacked his biggest sympathetic following.
The spring is devouring itself. It wants that power more than it wants those people.
And at the end of the day, they decided on
it back.
they decided on war.
They did.
So he's gonna attack.
That's maybe why. Maybe the Scion only attacked because war was picked.
So if we voted against it, because we tried the other way, if we voted against it, and we're prepared to fight if it's still a fight, but maybe it would just be avoidable.
But if we vote against it and the Scion doesn't come in, then we can't trap her.
No, we have to decide what's the bigger goal.
The
If
Scion.
the goal is to destroy the Scion, then that's what we have to stick
The
with.
goal to destroy the Scion can't be more important than killing all of these
If we
people.
destroy the Scion, there is no war.
Dew can't be
Dew has-
connected to this plane.
But then
it
what about all of
stops.
these people that vote to go to war? Do you think they'll understand that we say, just kidding, we were just trying to trap something?
We'll have another discussion on our hands.
Or do we actually incite a...
They can't beat Dew as long as he has the Scion.
I will say you all recall at the very least from the previous moot that had taken place that the assembled orcs were very unsure as to the correct way to proceed, and in fact were leaning toward finding a way to defeat Dew, but to preserve the spring until the group persuaded them to go to war. So it was very much all of your influence on the assembled moot that created that outcome.
But if everyone is in on it, it's not a real vote. Everyone needs to be prepared to fight. We can't let them be blinded by this. If they all know and pretend, then it should be okay, because they all know it's ending tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I cast my magic circle, it cannot.
It can't
Go
harm
past
anybody,
it.
right?
Okay, then that's... Then
It cannot harm.
It can't go past it.
So we do it the same way we did it.
Do you know this spell?
One magic circle?
Yes.
No, I'm just listening to someone hyper-focused on a singular goal. What are you willing to do to make sure that the Scion appears here? Because it sounds like a group of us are talking about averting the attack. But I don't think that's what you want. And I don't think that's what you're going to let happen.
I don't mind. I want the Scion to appear.
If
I don't
things
need it.
go
I don't
south,
need her to attack the orcs for me to accomplish my goal.
Right. There's no universe in which the Scion appears and she doesn't attack.
But I can protect them.
That's it. That's the concerning statement. You are overconfident.
I'm not overconfident.
I think you forgot what it looked like when Effie died.
I didn't forget.
I won't let it happen. I'll be ready this time too. And if things go south, I will end that scion. They just caught me off guard, that's all.
Kai, one way or the other, we're gonna face the scion. At least now we have a tactical advantage.
Are we walking?
Effie is
talking?
still holding your
we're
hand.
walking, talking.
I give it a little squeeze.
As you all proceed, Effie.
So nervous.
You all beginning to move up to the clearing. Effie, you catch a glimpse of something on the wall. A poster.
Stop it! I love it too much.
You catch sight of a poster on the wall, and you feel yourself overcome with corporate loyalty.
Wow, at work.
Yeah.
Is it for anything in particular?
This was anything you choose, but I can provide you one if you'd prefer.
Oh, no.
Okay, great.
Stay out of it.
I love Sage.
Great. My corporate pact, of course, is as somebody who is a huge fan of books, but also incredibly busy. Of course, it's with Fantasy Audible. This episode brought to you by Fantasy Audible. No, Audible did not give any money to PixelCircus for this episode.
But Fantasy Audible did.
I don't understand why, personally, but Fantasy Audible, on the other hand, is filling Effie's pockets.
Fantasy Audible is run by very, very good people that are ethical. That's the thing about Fantasy Audible. That's the difference.
Effie, roll me a d20.
Just flat?
Yep.
15.
Ooh. Go girl.
So, did you have a buff in mind for this corporate pact, or shall I provide one?
I did not have a buff in mind.
What does your deal with Audible mean to you, Effie? I mean, you're very booky to begin with.
It's about staying sharp mentally.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's, I just because I don't have time to sit down and read doesn't mean I'm not consuming knowledge.
There we go.
We should be sponsored.
I agree.
You will.
That was into the camera.
I say this might be way fucked up.
Do it.
That's why
In a
we're
good
not
way or a bad
sponsored.
way?
Temporarily,
Like good fucked up or bad fucked up?
temporarily take advantage on all rolls involving intelligence or wisdom.
To the wizard.
How temporary?
No, shush, shush, shush.
Did we just get
No,
super,
ask no questions.
Did we just get Super Saiyan Effie?
Yes.
Now, here's the thing: is not knowing her class, I don't know what I just did. So
No
hey,
one-
great.
Hey,
No
don't worry
one-
about it.
No one
You're
say
good.
anything.
No.
Head
So good
down.
marks.
Head down.
Hey, chat, shut up.
Now I will say, this does not impose disadvantage on spell save DC like
Yep.
spell effects on other people.
I have an
but
advantage
you
when
do
I
have advantage.
Great.
Dying looks good
Thanks
on
to
you.
Fantasy Audible. Wonderful. So,
Audible, fantasyaudible.com/Effie.
What did you just say?
I'm sorry, but something came over me.
you all embark to the clearing.
Such a good idea for one. Ignore me, sorry. I'll
Hey,
save it for later.
hey, chat, you know what to do. You all embark to the clearing, and it's just the same as you remembered it from as your mind conceives it mere hours ago, before this rewind had taken place. The root wicker beneath your feet, replete with delicate grasses and flowers, swirls to the center where the great hedge person kneels. The blue flowers growing and dying from its mouth like a cascading waterfall. Further, you see Guern of the Orin Nin, along with perhaps a dozen or so other orcs in various retinues who you had not personally met before the moot, lounging about, hanging out around the hedge, sitting, chatting, dining in the early morning hours. Guern herself is admiring the sculpture in the center as well. And she seems to be twiddling with a bit of what looks like string or something, a bit of thread in her hands. And that's all you see in the clearing currently. It is like, relative to the actual moot, it's quite dead here. There's not a whole lot of people out. It's like 7 in the morning.
Yeah. Is Guern there?
Guern had come up before you, and you also see him approximately adjourning towards the groups of orcs, seeming to try and get the attention of a couple who looked that they could be higher ranking in the various clans.
Cool.
But he's just going about his business.
Great. I think we just let Guern do the talking for us on this one. We're pretty bad at it. So
Are we near the hedge or no? Like, is it like
Yeah, so I forgot exactly what I said, but I believe the
Mood.
I believe
Like
the
we're under, but
the
how-
clearing has like a an approximate diameter of like 60 or so feet with the hedge at the center, so you're not terribly far from it. It might have been closer to 70 or 80, but yeah, it's a fairly large circular space, hedge in the middle, but you're coming up around the outside edge, so you're not super far away from the hedge.
How much space do you need?
I just need to get within 20 feet, and then I'm just gonna make I'm just gonna walk in a circle.
Great.
And there are orcs hanging out around that area.
Yes,
Casually.
Guern telling all of the orcs in front of the topiary?
Not directly. You see he's pulling people aside, kind of
Okay.
away from the clearing. He tries to get Wair's attention as well, but she looks and very politely, but brushes him off and sort of continues staring off into space.
Kettle has taken up like an offensive position at the topiary, but like from a distance. So watching Ella sort of walk around, but he's keeping both eyes on this thing.
Would you like to walk with me? Would that make you
Is it?
feel?
Oh, I would love to. And Kai is going to change into the orc gardener.
Oh yeah!
Guy Gardner?
Do you get
Yeah.
that very bad gardener?
Yeah.
And walk
Guidner.
around with you. Yeah, Guidner.
Oh.
And yeah,
I'll just take your arm and look as though like we are chatting and going for a stroll.
I'm just gesticulating with the closest thing in my pocket that looks like a trowel.
Hey, so Kai, what that voice sound like?
I don't remember.
Sounds like Guy,
Almost guy.
but not.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my
Trowel.
That Gardner says
Finish.
trowel all the time.
Yeah.
Keep saying that.
No, he's always saying
Miracle
trowel.
grow. Stems.
Sorry to
stems.
interrupt y'all.
Hey, Poppy.
Yes.
You're pretty charming.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're a very
I
charming
think you're
person.
very charming too.
Oh, thank you very much. But
Why are we complimenting each other?
well, I was just gonna say, it looks like Wire is not really listening to Guern, and so like maybe we could like go get in their ear. I don't know.
You know, that I was actually just thinking that maybe we should go buy a bunch of potions and like tell people to use them.
What?
Like give them like the health potions so that they have an emergency health potions. How much money do we have?
Okay. Can I pat you on the shoulder?
Yes.
Okay.
I give you permission all day.
Okay. You might be 2 steps ahead.
Why?
I think.
Justin, I don't.
Why don't we first?
I'm scared that it's going to go wrong and they won't believe us and they won't protect themselves.
Here's what I'd like to do from a practical standpoint.
Yes.
Let's wait until they don't believe us before we spend all our money.
Can I?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Are you guys?
Oh, we're not
whispering?
hiding it.
No, I'm talking
Why don't we just-
loudly.
why
I
don't
don't know
we-
how to whisper.
Yeah. What? We
You
just
have
go
to
over.
learn how to whisper.
We just go over. We talk to her. We say, hey, this is what's going to go on. Maybe listen to Guern. And then if things get bad, then we spend all our money on potions.
Clearly.
Hi.
We still don't know how the spring magic got in here, right? They said that they have like a defense, and
Yeah.
Poppy brought up a great possibility that it could be a mole.
A mole.
A mole.
Now you're just making fun of me.
I'm so sorry.
A little bit.
I never heard the word before. You were the first person I heard say it.
Wow.
You never read it in book.
So,
Yeah, she's
With
only
that
seen a lot of words
in
read. You know what I mean?
mind, everyone else was listening to him. It is very rude to just brush somebody off like that, even though she did it politely. What if she?
Do you think where's the
I think there's. I don't know. I don't know anything
going to throw
at all.
up?
I don't know anything. It's fine. I
It's
don't.
possible.
I just thought I would
That's
consider.
a good point. What if they tell? Oh
Poppy.
no. Yes.
As you're talking,
Yes.
off the bat, and
Love
this,
saying that word.
yay,
Yay.
off the bat, you've already noticed this day has been proceeding differently from before,
Yes, very
obviously,
much.
in
I'm
many
scared.
ways. But all the ramifications have not yet become clear. You do notice something, however, even as you're talking, that catches your attention and certainly did not happen the first time.
Okay.
As you converse and step around the group, even angling your body perhaps away from Wair so the conversation's more concealed or physically moved by Kai, who's to say?
Yes, I think you definitely move me because I
Point her
cannot
away
whisper.
from Wair.
You got it.
I can't.
I'm being Guy.
As you're talking,
Yes.
your hair dulls in color for just a moment, returning more closely to a shade of brown. In contrast to the glowing ember locks you typically sport here, it felt almost like the wilds as you stepped to the side, like you passed through something for just a moment.
Why did it get darker?
Huh?
No.
Did it get darker? Did the cloud go over the sun?
What are you? What?
Everything's darker.
No. What? No. What?
You be a cloud.
I've never tried.
Do they all see my hair?
Yeah, I
You
saw.
all see her hair sort of go brunette for a moment.
What did you just feel?
What do you mean?
You didn't ask.
You're really overusing the shoulder pad. I just.
I said I give permission.
All day.
All day.
I don't think that I meant you have to do it all day.
No, but this could be potentially
What
disturbing.
is going on?
What is going on?
I don't know. What's wrong?
Your hair went out.
Is it back? Was it just temporary, or did it like go out
It's
and
back
stayed
now,
there,
right?
Yeah.
or did it like
Yeah.
flash?
Well,
Okay.
as she stepped through it, almost like as a wave moved through and went back to normal
What
as she
did
stepped
you-
past something.
What did you
Back
feel?
up, back up.
Backing up. Okay.
And stepping back into that, your hair turns brown again, much like the way you're used to it when you are physically in the wilds.
Detect magic.
Where is this in relation to the?
It's back at the edge of the
Okay.
circle area here. Detecting magic, you
Look kind of weird.
you pick up. Here's the thing: is it wouldn't be traditionally speaking a school of magic, but I'll just give you this: that you pick up. Roll an Arcana check. No, you're working for this.
Okay. Oh, that's a 1.
Working for it with detect magic.
I don't get it.
To get this level of specificity from it.
Am I feeling sad?
What'd you get?
17.
You are picking up energies that feel almost like they are connected to the summer wilds. And this is actually something you've come to be somewhat familiar with, at least in knowing Poppy. It feels like Poppy.
There's a like
I feel nothing.
it's like a miasma that you're standing in right now. Does that make sense?
Your asthma.
Okay, that's the last time I used a
Is
big
a
word.
puppy-
Thanks, Fantasy Audible. I learned the word too big for my friend group.
I understood it.
Okay.
All
So
right.
I'm standing in the pocket of myself?
It's summer
I've got a
wild
pocket
magic.
full, a pocket full of me.
Poppy.
Specifically,
Yes.
Kai and Poppy.
Pocket full of puppy.
Pocket full of poppy.
It feels like this is a trail almost. Like there's you wouldn't say a fissure, but almost like there's energy coming from the summer wilds. And the path almost seems to widen and go in a particular direction.
I would love to Scooby-Doo if I can while I have my 10 minutes of detect
Yes.
magic.
Use me. I am a marker. Keep my hair not lit.
I
Dowsing
use
rod.
her as a dowsing
As a dowsing
rod.
rod.
Um,
This is fascinating.
Poppy, Kai, and I guess whoever else is coming along for this, it leads you actually back down to the lower chamber where you were before. And as you move, it does seem to form a distinct path that you are following.
Am I secreting something?
Got a little snail trail
I
going
gotta
on.
do this.
It leads you down back into the chamber beneath the moot space where you all had slept, and gradually guides you toward the very center of the circular room, which is directly below the figure of the hedge above you. And Poppy,
Yes.
you see a tiny spot of earth lightly churning beneath you. A little hump of dirt, literally like we're talking a pea size.
I grabbed the
Cool
dirt.
it. Talk to it. Talk to it.
Only Poppy sees this.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool, like, do you see this? Do you see that?
The floor?
The dirt. The moving dirt.
I don't see any.
Maybe it's a mole.
Whoa! Where?
Poppy.
Yes.
Blinding light pierces the earth. You do all see this now.
Oh!
As you all are stunned.
Are you still up doing?
I think I waited.
Did you start?
No. I think I waited because all this started to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I only need 10 minutes for this one, so I can wait.
As you all are stunned and absolutely just your retinas burned out by this piercing light, Poppy,
Yes.
a hand reaches out from the earth and grasps your own. In a flash, Poppy, you are whisked through and cleanly out from the ground.
No!
On the other side, so to speak. You stand before a figure who smiles and begins to introduce themselves to you.
Keep fucking losing Poppy.
She's gone.
Meanwhile, on the other side, as you see Poppy just sucked away.
Every time.
Is she in fairy jail again?
Probably.
I've been sucked up into the soil before. It
In
sucks.
her place, already beginning to fizzle and dissolve away, you see the individual who you'd very briefly met, named Ember, a childhood friend of Poppy's, who is now standing where she stood, but actually appearing to like almost disintegrate out from her present form.
Hey,
And she
what
says,
the fuck?
"Hey, I'm so sorry for all that. I know it's very spooky, but I don't have a lot of time, and we had to grab her real quick. But I promise we're gonna bring her right back."
What we're doing is very important.
I know it's so serious right now. I don't want to interrupt you, but I'm gonna bring her right back. I swear to God, and you're gonna love it. Okay, and she falls apart before you.
Oh my God.
I got 0 questions out about the big leaf lady.
Oh, maybe with her asthma we're in.
I need to make this circle right now, it feels like.
Yes. Effie,
Yes.
you and I are going to go talk to Aya right now.
Okay.
And on that, we will take a very short break. Don't go anywhere, friends. Is Poppy dead? Maybe.
Oh my God.
But not.
Fun.
No.
Ember killed me?
Stay here. We'll be right back.
Oh my God.
Welcome back, everybody. Look at us
You don't
and
wanna be
look
harassed at
who's
dinner.
not us. What? Where
She's
did
dead.
she go?
If you
She's
died
dead
in the game, you died in real
and
life.
gone. Gian DeVivo has been eliminated.
Don't say that.
Oh God.
Threat has been eliminated.
We voted her ass off first because she's the biggest threat.
That's
So
right.
you all see Poppy disappear through, and Ember appear as well to let you know that she's okay, but needed to be borrowed for a few moments. And then Ember melted.
What does this even... Faye bullshit, man. What does this even mean?
I don't know.
We just need her real quick. For what?
Kettle
How
starts.
long's real quick? They live for
Chopping the
thousands
dirt.
of years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can get
it's
like
bad.
a couple feet down, and it is truly all dirt.
I'm still going.
You don't
Wait.
have to.
Tink! You actually find something.
Oh, maybe they left the portal or something.
It's a Susan B. Anthony silver dollar.
You lift up your axe, and you see stuck
Fantasy
to the
season.
edge of it
Fantasy
is
bee.
actually what appears to be
fantasy dollar.
a bath bomb.
Oh, everyone look out! It's gonna go.
No, you have to pull the pin first.
Oh,
It does-
no, it's gonna
I
go.
push it into his hand.
oh my God.
it's reacting to my hand.
So yeah,
He's
the
a
bath
bath
bomb
now.
is inside you now.
How?
I mean, do you want to resist the
I mean, no, maybe
entrance?
it'll fight the calcium.
Resist the entrance? It just...
Relax.
That's how it gets in.
I closed my hand around his hand to push the bath bomb into his body.
The
That was
bath bomb
implication.
immediately fizzes all of your liquids up.
Oh.
You are fizzy and lifting. I will say.
What does it smell like?
It, oh.
So like a
We're here for
relaxing
you.
lavender,
You know what?
citrus.
Banner genre,
like a-
what are your favorite scents?
Yeah. Ooh. Okay. New book and pine.
You smell like piney new books.
Why am I in a Nordic library right now?
I will say, you gain the fizziness, and it does negate the calcification of your wet. So you, I literally
carbonated.
water. It's a word's water. And so you lose the nerf on your movement speed, but retain the buff from the bean slice. At the same time,
Oh.
Okay.
at the same time, because you're now so fizzy
I'm sorry.
and bubbly.
Can you say that sentence again?
No, no, because this went from bath bomb to like Alka-Seltzer really quickly.
I'm really not sure how to
You
handle that.
retain the buff from the bean slice.
You
flagon
also,
with the dragon.
because the bath bomb is just fizzing so nicely within you, effervescing, so to speak, because I want it to.
Sorry, I can't help it.
You actually double your movement speed temporarily.
Oh, I'm so fast.
As you're now so fizzy.
I'm so fast. I'm feeling fizzy.
It's technically better for digestion, too.
Oh, yeah.
We have to go talk to people about this.
Okay.
You
Quick question.
draw a circle.
How tall is the shrubbery and how tall is the ceiling? And that's like, because how far beneath it are we?
This area you're in right now is about from the level of the ground above you. I'd say it's like a good 30 feet up-ish. And the topiary herself is 30 feet tall.
Okay.
I see what you're trying to figure out. Is
Yeah.
it coming from down here or there?
Well, here's the thing. We know that what's coming, we're afraid of coming, is spring, and what this was seemingly summer. So
That's
I
true.
don't
Okay.
think they're related. I think maybe we just have deeply unfortunate luck.
I think
No,
we have
that
to
sounds
chop
right.
up all the plants. All the plants should get chopped up. We should chop them all up. We
buddy.
can't trust any of the plants.
We need to give him something to do while you draw your circle.
Don't say that name in front of me.
Oh, it came out fizzy. I kind of washed my hands with it like there's shea butter.
Hey, let's go talk.
Okay, we're gonna run and talk to
Wire.
Wire. Thank you. We're gonna go run and talk to Wire. You draw a circle. You find some way to distract him.
Hey, you know I'm the
Kettle?
good talker in the group, right?
Kettle.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Spin my
not.
hands.
Here's the thing. Maybe both of y'all might be able to help me. So this spell that I do need to cast, it's a large circle. It's like it's a 10-foot radius,
Yeah.
but it's only a 20-foot cylinder, and that's a 30-foot tall bush.
You're speaking too much math.
Can you build me like 10 feet of hill? Like, can we get that? You know?
You want me to dig up?
Yeah, get a little trench. You know, like make me a little sandcastle all the way around this. Like a
I'm on it.
little
And you see,
reverse moat.
Above game clarification. So
Help
you
me.
want you want Kettle to move dirt from the chamber beneath to
No, that
the floor
doesn't matter
above?
where the dirt comes from. To me, I just want I want to make the shrubbery shorter. So I'm gonna bring the
soil
the
level.
soil, the
up.
ground. Bury the
You're
shrubbery a little.
thinking of like the dome of the spell, and you want to raise the ground level around the scion.
right, because basically the scion's on this like tightly woven grass and wicker floor, which is the ground floor of the world. And then this whole basin you're in is below it like this, like a chamber beneath that meeting space.
So to get to dirt around the scion, you would have to go through the floor. Or no,
well,
there
you can
is
shovel
nothing
it
underneath.
from over here
Yeah.
and bring it over, or from the below to the above.
I want to make the bush 10 feet shorter somehow.
You can put dirt up there.
Great.
I'm on
Hey,
it.
Kettle.
Here we go.
Roll me athletics
Yeah.
Wild.
for soil hauling.
I've already ran away, so I can't help with this spell.
And you are talking to Wire?
Yes.
Is that right? Okay.
I also have a -1 to charisma.
Good luck.
This is gonna be great. This is gonna be so good for you. It's gonna be
But
a
man,
grow-
I would have been great with mold earth.
Right. The
it's
spell.
gonna be a growing experience. This is gonna be wonderful.
Cluelick, you can't pick the teams for things anymore.
I just,
Why did you take the wizard to talk?
I just
She
want,
almost cried talking to us.
I just want her to be her best.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just
To be
I'm tr-
honest, I'm always almost crying.
That's my secret cat. Yeah. Interesting. So we're gonna run to a Wire and just, hello, lovely string. How are you this morning?
Oh. And she turns and, you know what? Both you roll perception.
Perception.
That's a nat 20.
shit!
That's my second nat 20 of the night, and that's I technically have advantage on it, but I can't do any better.
It's a 17 for me.
Oh, shit, yeah, okay. You get closer to her, and she is still standing, observing the hedge lady, the hedge person before her. And you see what she's been playing with in her hands a little bit. And to you, it looks like it's just a, not unlike a green thread, but almost like a green little, like a vine of something with a tiny ovular white flower at the end of it. Like a bit of a brush or a bit of weed from the ground, possibly. Just like between her fingers, she's looking. Oh, good morning. Have you thought about what we discussed prior at all?
We're gonna go above game again.
She was trying to convince you to steer the conversation at the moot toward going to war with Spring, essentially.
Yeah,
We have.
we have thought a bit about that. We're still on the fence, still a couple hours until the moot. We were wondering, have you spoken to Guern this morning?
Have I spoken to Guern? No, I saw he did want to speak with me about something, but I typically take my mornings for contemplation, and so I will be attending to him shortly. Besides, we all have time to get out our thoughts during the moot.
Oh, but like pre-moot, you could talk to him though, right?
I suppose I could.
Yeah, but we could also talk to you right now.
While Klulik is talking to her right? I would like to detect magic on her to see if I can pick up any like spring fey magic.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay, roll Arcana.
Particularly on that little viney vine of hers.
So that was not very good.
You have advantage.
Oh,
Because of fantasy
much
audible.
better. That's a dirty 20.
Let's go.
Dirty 20.
God, that advantage.
Yeah.
Thanks, Fantasy Audible.
Thank you. That's why I brought the wizard.
And you see.
Respect.
Interesting.
There are
Okay.
layers.
You are detecting magic on her, and you have a nat 20 for the perception check, right?
I did.
Yeah. So she says what she says to Klulik, and then turns away from you for a moment, and looks. You see her like ruffle with her robes a bit, and shake her hands out. Apologies for that. Anyway, and you do pick up some magic from her. You are getting various bits of various schools from like things that she's wearing, things that she's clothed with, and you do get what feels like a lingering of spring fey magic when you casted it from what she was holding, and even still residual on her hands. And here's the thing though, from various other parts of her body as well, you further notice that you're picking up elements of spring fey magic from various areas of the clearing and around you, because the orcs use spring fey magic in most of what they do. Now, you do get it from where I said you got it, but there's a bit of signal noise because there's so much of that around right now.
Okay, so the little flower that she was holding is picking up as springy.
It was. She put her hands into her robes as she turned away from you. When she turned back, she's no longer holding it.
She's doing close-up magic.
How did she do that?
She can't. No, if she starts doing close-up magic, Effie turns into such a woo girl. She cannot.
Where did it go?
It's in my purse.
Wizard.
She's a wizard.
Yeah,
Okay,
but she doesn't
not that
do
kind of
that kind of magic.
But yes, I can speak to Guern before the moot, I suppose. We have time.
Great. Yeah, we've come across some information. We just want to make sure that everybody is safe and well informed before the moot. We're still.
What did you find?
Well,
I
found that I think I might be in danger.
You might be in danger. Oh, who could possibly mean you harm?
I'm not very good at it, but I do want to insight check that. Ooh.
Natural
What can
20.
you do with a
Yeah,
10?
yeah, I might try that as
That's
well.
wisdom at advantage.
The bird got a natural 20, which is a 23.
Does she want to hurt me? Because that would be very rude. I'm so nice.
It's true. What's your total?
23.
I used.
Are you going to use a reroll?
I used all of my DM rerolls. I had like
out.
8 of them.
Get out!
I used every single one, and I wound up with a 21.
Amazing.
Take that, chat.
Take that.
Whoa, hey, no, we're not guys.
No, chat. Chat. Eat this.
Guys, eat shit.
Hey.
Fail safe. Eat shit.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yes, so
It says this.
here's the thing though. When she says, who would mean you harm? there's like a little bit of like a on it, because she's clearly kind of like an person a little bit.
Yeah.
But you don't feel like she's being directly dishonest about anything. As
No,
in,
but
she
you
does not
re-rolled
appear.
8 times.
hey, met a bitch.
Let's go.
You meant a what?
That's what I call Mark
very hot of you.
Zuckerberg. I didn't expect that to go over that well.
That was very
Woo! Inspiration.
sad. Friend of the show, Mark Zuckerberg. He loves watching this on a Friday night to unwind.
I know. He's like crying in his fucking palace right now.
Hey, Mark Zuckerberg.
Teared up.
Yeah. And short circuits.
Double hands.
Anyway.
If Mark Zuckerberg is watching this, eat shit. Fuck off.
Failed safe.
If Mark Zuckerberg is watching this, we're canceled. We're not doing any more
I would
episodes.
rather never play
I would
D&D.
rather never. I'm never going to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I
again.
want to rob him of joy.
Yeah.
I would quit this.
She does not seem
Robbie
like she
Joy.
personally means Effie any harm.
Sure.
But she just feels like she's generally a disingenuous person.
Yeah. 8 times.
Hey. Negative inspiration. I'll give yours to her.
That's fine. That's fine. I know
Sure
everything
doesn't
I
need
need
it.
to know.
Wait, so
Times
she feels
I love it.
generally disingenuous?
Yes.
Well,
Okay.
that's still a lot.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
none of these fancy orcs are disingenuous.
Yeah.
And you know, thank you. That's very reassuring. I've been trying to tell her the same thing all day. Who would want to hurt her? We're here to visit and take place in the moot, and I think, you know, we're just not so used to to a lot of sort of new cultures and things like that. So it gets a little nervous.
You
I'm
know,
always a little nervous.
I meant that as a direct question. Who do you feel is trying to hurt you?
Oh, well, we know that the spring is trying to hurt a lot of people.
Yeah.
But just you specifically?
Well, I'm not very strong. A lot of the people here are warriors and fighters, and I'm
That's true. That is absolute fact, and Effie believes that to her core. Try me.
She's trying to pick up other things about you.
That total switch was
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. Sage came out. There you go.
I'm not very strong, and I don't think that I would.
You know, I've been trying to tell her the same thing. I'm like, why? She's catastrophizing. You know what I mean? It's like, when things go wrong, it's like, oh no, this is coming for me. And I'm just like, hey, it's not coming for you.
The best way that I deal with that is generally, I'm comforted through preparation. And I'm a wizard. I do
Magic, and I like gesture and shuffle all of my like books and scrolls that I keep on me, and I just go,
could I ask about the magic that you were using when we approached?
Magic?
The flower you were holding.
Flower was a cutting from the town.
From this town?
Yes, I tend to collect various pretty things as I do my morning stroll.
You know, Effie was saying as we saw you over there, because I was like, we should probably talk to Lyra about all this stuff because you're nervous and we're trying to figure out which way to vote. And then she saw you doing your thing, and she thought perhaps it was some sort of a ritual or something, because she's always doing stuff like that.
Oh, no, more of a nervous habit, really. I have a few tics like that, just when I'm working through things in my head.
I have a lot
You
of
can
nervous
relate.
habits.
So you grow spring flowers here?
You mean flowers that bear spring fey energies?
Yes.
Well, I'm afraid you may find a bit of a passive aura of those energies here, as the orcs do use fey magic in much of our dealings.
Well, that's why I asked if you were doing.
No particular ritual or spell, though, no. I simply like to collect the flowers as I browse in the morning.
Well.
Roll.
It's a 19 on the die for a 21.
Let's
I
go.
have no more chat rerolls left!
Trapping him while he doesn't have them.
Love it.
You won that contest. And you are determining what here?
I want to know if she is lying, or like intentionally deceiving in any capacity, which could be either trying to leave something out or directly lying about whether or not she was doing magic of any kind about these flowers.
While you think, there's just a cutaway to Kai sitting on the ground watching you mounder.
Yeah.
All I do all day is lie good and know if other people are lying, and I didn't get
We're
that.
directly above them, right?
Yeah. It's a good 30 feet, and then there's a thick layer of like wicker and root and grass, like that forms the ground, which is itself probably a good foot thick.
Maybe I'm not advertising my skill set.
As Kettle's like running back and forth
You
with the dirt.
seem like that's absolutely what you're good at, sweetheart.
Thanks.
I'm sorry about that, Kettle.
No,
I was gonna
I
see
mean,
if I could like kick the ground a little bit.
No. I think
Pollen just.
It's a Kai kick.
we'll leave you to your morning contemplation.
Real quick, you do pick up that she seems
Lying.
sorry, they're making a reference to something.
Yeah.
Saga?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
To Lion Cat.
My man.
You can get inspiration for it.
No, you
I
didn't.
know.
You know what? Inspiration.
Thank you.
My favorite
It
comic
feels
series
weird,
ever.
like after. Like, he should have given it to you up top, and that's on him.
Right, whatever.
Maybe you give double because you didn't get it right
you
away.
get 2.
Oh, okay. I do it for me.
And I have 2 because I have.
You know what? Great idea. You get 1 too.
Hey!
Well, that
So
doesn't
I'm the
feel
only one that
special.
loses inspiration.
You get negative.
I just never
inspiration.
get it.
They're all coming from you. Effie.
Yes.
This one roll taking an hour. You detect that she's saying something that's either untrue or she doesn't believe it. It's kind of, and again, you are not, it's not clairvoyance, but you feel off about what she's telling you.
Well, thank you very much. We'll leave you to your contemplation. If you get a moment, do talk to Guern this morning. I don't want to interrupt the way you do things, but if you have a minute.
I'll head over there now.
Great. Thanks, Wire.
Meanwhile, downstairs, Kai. I love you.
Oh,
You're in the basin beneath.
Again?
I feel loved.
Yeah.
And what are you up to right now? Kind of like just immediately as you are down there. What are you doing?
Really don't know how to help with anything that's happening down below, so I'm
just sitting
watching.
waiting because I have to wait until the wall is built.
What was your athletics roll?
6.
Oh, okay. He's still working.
Mate.
Oh, hang on. Maybe we should
Do you want
help.
help?
I think
Yeah.
maybe we do need to help him.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
All right.
This is, no, I'm a fighter.
Then I am helping this.
Beautiful. And here's something that happens. It's really weird. As you're digging, Kettle.
And fizzing, I might add.
You did roll a 6,
fizzing,
so dirt's
fizzing,
kind of getting all
fizzing,
over the
digging.
place. Kai, you see something covered in filth. Maybe you go over, you scrape some off. It's getting a bit of a mess down here, and you discover something. There's a media kit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Is it in like a cool container? That,
Yeah.
like when it was mailed, was it mailed in something like really
Oh.
interesting?
Yeah.
yeah.
Nailed it.
You see what looks like a big plus on it, and a bottle of some kind with the top popped open and smiles coming out. And if you're willing, chat requested Kai to rep some kind of fantasy pharmaceutical company.
Oh my
it's a-
goodness.
If you have anything you'd like to contribute for that.
Fantasy pharmaceutical. Okay.
I can
Yeah.
totally see Kai as a pharmaceutical rep.
100%.
What kind of pill would Kai rep?
Yeah. Kai, sitting alone, just prestidigitates a little sad drawing of an oval. And the oval just starts rolling. And it's like, do you feel like you, in your party, the anxiety and depression of not getting asked to do the thing that you're mechanically built to be good at? And the little thing rolls over and sees like a social encounter and frowns because it didn't get to go to that, and it starts rolling over and sitting and watching a barbarian dig a hole. This is for you. This is I want to make a Zoloft joke. Zolost. You've lost the plot and the thread of what you're supposed to do with your party. And she takes a little pill out, and she takes it, and the metaverse opens up to her, and she can hear the conversation that she would be very, very good at helping. And goes, I understand where I belong now. Thank you, Zolost. And throws back some of that sweet water and doesn't help you and goes and runs away to the social encounter. Woo!
Beautiful.
Was that anything?
Yes. Fantastic.
When you get up there,
killed it.
Effie is looking at you, she's just like,
No,
You're good, you're great. What's going on?
she did really well. I'm proud of you. She did really well.
Do you want to take this pill I found in the ground downstairs? And I just
your
offer her.
clerics before
Yeah.
taking Zoloft.
And because You are so good at social encounters, and it was something you weren't able to do. Well, your repping of this company makes you good at something else.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, good.
Incredible.
Still not what you wanted.
Yeah, because you're still not going to help here.
Tight.
No.
Incredible.
I will say,
Pills can't solve everything, baby. You need to do the work.
I will never turn the I inward. No pill can make me do that.
you now have a magic media kit for Zolost. And what it does is it has 3 charges.
Ooh.
3 charges that you can use to, let's say, fuck, I'm gonna regret the hell out of
Yes,
this.
you will.
Yeah.
To double the damage on a single hit of any spell or melee attack.
As a bonus action, or
Oh, it just happens if you choose it.
You choose to.
Yeah.
It goes off.
You will not regret this.
They will not refresh, but you can do that 3 times.
Incredible.
Wow.
Hey, I have a really good idea. We should just fight this plant.
Wait, whoa. Am I allowed
right now!
Am I allowed to pat you on the shoulder?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Do you
seem
want
a
to
little
take one of
amped
these
up.
cool pills?
Less than anything. Listen, we found
they're
out some
good.
very important information.
Okay.
But also,
Why?
it's hitting, so now I kind of want to hit the plant.
Why are pants on
Please wait
fire?
for me
You know
to
what I'm saying?
finish.
Yeah.
Like, Wire is definitely behind this.
Is she walking away?
Yeah, she's gone.
She's joined the group of orcs talking to
How
Guern.
far away?
Super spring.
Between 30 and 40 feet.
Detect fucking thoughts.
Damn! Meanwhile, the
No-go.
weird little reverse moat wall thing
It's
is
not
done.
weird.
I jumped in to help using my PixelCircus. I turned it into a shovel, a 5-pound shovel, because that's as big as I can make it. which is
Using
pretty
items
alright.
from a previous session, that's inspiration right there.
Hey!
Looking at your character sheet and keeping track of what you have, that is above and beyond our pay grade.
That one impresses me so
Never in
much.
my life.
Won't start
I always
today.
keep track of the silly magic items. It's the only thing I pay attention to.
So we have y'all who've completed the moat thing. Are you beginning to draw your magic circle?
Yeah, as soon as that is ready, I will kind of. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Maybe step a little bit back so you're not fizzing on the. Just we want it to stay as tall as possible. Thank you so much. And so I pull out of my little basket a. I remember before using sugar crystals, but I'm a little bit worried that they're gonna melt. So I take a handful of little rainbow sprinkles, and I start using that as I just like walk around this wall to draw this magic circle. I'm not gonna activate it yet, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna like essentially prep it to close whenever I
I'll
need
say
to.
that's fairly easy to do surreptitiously. There's not a lot of orcs over here. They're mostly talking to Guern right now. Once you do complete the magic circle, do you want to begin channeling planar binding? What do you do once it's done?
So the thing about planar binding is I believe I need to see the target.
Which for you is the hedge in this case.
No, it's the scion. It needs to be the scion.
Now here's where it gets tricky.
So, and I don't know.
Where is Scion right now?
I don't know.
Would you like to attempt to determine such?
Ooh.
Do I have anything that I can like detect fey?
Literally pitch some bullshit my way.
I'll
even take an especially good perception check. Listen, however you want to approach this, I'm
perfect.
open to facilitating.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if I have like a fun, like
Oh,
a fancy way
wait
to do
a
it.
second.
Say, do you have
I
a thing?
do.
Hey, wait, hey, Candle, hang on, fizz back over here real fast.
Ooh.
It's so cute down here.
And it's so
bubbly.
fast.
I have magic awareness as an action. You can open your awareness to the I'm just gonna say this.
Sorry, I get really stuck in my voice. It's really hard to get out of it.
To the presence of concentrated magic until the end of your next turn, you know the location of any spell or magic item within 60 feet of you that isn't behind total cover. So it's only 60 feet.
Neat. And
But
so
it's
you
not
use
a
that.
fey can we use it as like to detect specifically the scions? Like
You know,
maybe
for your
that
boss
channel
senses.
Guys, he
conduit?
said give him some bullshit.
Right.
No,
to
that's what I'm saying,
advocate
like,
for
I
yourself.
am. That's what I'm doing.
When you sense a spell, you learn which school of magic it belongs to, but we have seen in the past that Fey magic detects as such.
So,
And that specific
Kettle.
like conduit thing that it's doing.
Xander Jean Array.
Yeah.
Televisions.
Yeah.
A what?
How do you want to do this to attempt to detect the presence of the scion of spring in the hedge?
Yes. So, Kettle holds up his fizzing shovel that he's been wielding around and then puts it between his hands and spins it around so
Now,
that it...
what was that again?
The shovel?
Aw.
Oh, this. And spins
You
it.
did a me.
Yeah. So that the shovel sort of like...
Sorry, he did what?
You heard me.
It flattens out back into more of like the X shape. But as it does, you can see that there are foaming bubbles from the fizz sort of spreading out like particles in the air.
Yes.
And so
Fizzy as fuck.
you can see them sort of
Foam
like...
party downstairs.
It is a foam party.
Is this a thing for you?
Finally, I got it in there.
And it'll start sticking to like the leaves of the hedge. It'll start like going into the air, the atmosphere all
Yeah.
around. And those are the sensors.
Sick.
Bubbles.
Great. So we have
I think that this was what I was asking for.
we have Kai detecting thoughts on Wire as she speaks with Guern. We have Kettle looking for the presence of the scion or some magical effect thereof amidst the hedge. We have our friend Ella over here, possibly planar binding, having completed your magic circle. All of this going on, and perhaps more. We're gonna go to
Today on
confessional.
That was the cold open?
We have a confessional.
No!
We'll get there.
We have a confessional for a tree
Oh no.
before the rewind. That'll be on me. Count me in.
No!
Amazing.
After all this time, I have traveled so far to find him, the object of my infatuation. Klulik. Because it was Dazzle before and then she died.
And it was
And
Fest
so-
before that.
Best before that, I
And she
rolled
died.
I rolled a
And she
d6, and so now it's Klulik, which
happened
means
to Fest?
guess who's going to die next?
You were for a bit. Oh?
And I come to this beautiful clearing with the orcs to beseech my love to finally run away into the forest with me. Be amongst my branches, swing from my vines. But lo and behold, the hedge lady is fucking up. It is crazy up in here, and I must fight for the life of my beloved. They do not see me because I was not in that episode. However, I am here, and I draw from my bark my gleaming sword, which is just part of my flesh. Just
Okay.
a whole bit of shiny wood.
All
And
right.
I charge, relax. I charge in.
You relax.
I begin to hew, to carve, to dash this scion to little bits, but she is too bony. She is too hard, too calcified. My flesh sword is drawing down in great and powerful arcs. My turgid strikes.
No! It's not turgid.
One after the next. But behold, as I too fall before her, I collapse to the ground next to a dead wizard. And my death is so much more dramatic, so much more poignant. You had to be there.
I think your confessional time's gotta be up, man.
Last dying breath, I reach out to Klulik before I am rewound. Meow meow.
Hey, Cameron, look at me. This is why I will blight every fucking tree.
You should.
Every fucking game I'll be in.
Crossing the
That's
streams.
bad. That's bad, and I'm like, look, it's everything everywhere all at once, and fuck all trees forever.
Oh!
Honestly,
Yeah.
respect.
Thanks. Let's go blight this other guy.
Let's do it.
Meanwhile,
It's good to stand.
you
for
have
something.
detective thoughts on Wair, and you're getting surface level
thoughts,
musings and
please.
such. Right now, she seems focused on what she's talking to Guern about, but it seems like the thoughts are of more in the vein of concealment or the omission of information is kind of where her mind is at right now.
Okay. You gonna give me a little more than that? Or are you gonna make me
For surface level? No.
vibes?
You and Delve.
What's okay? What? Yeah, I'm delving. Push.
Oh boy.
Push it.
No, that's the one where they know. I
Oh, shit,
immediately, Klulik immediately sends his double down to Ella and is just like, Wire is the bad guy, and she's about to know that we're reading her thoughts.
I'm up here, sweetheart, because
here.
it's
shit.
a 30-foot thing, so I had to already get up 10 feet. Hey, sweetheart, what's it?
No, I just sent my double over to you.
Yeah.
Like, Wire is the bad guy, and she's about to know that we're reading her thoughts. So just batten down for that one.
Wait, it's the sign.
She rolled.
Like looking at the thing and be like,
Hey,
am I in the
question.
wrong
Yo,
spot?
No.
This spell also detects the presence of thinking creatures I can't see. So I was doing my little light
of
scan.
thinking creatures you can't see.
Is the scion here, motherfucker? Oh.
Fascinating. Okay, we'll get to that in a moment. So,
Couldn't
first things
my
first.
bubble.
You delve deeper into Wire's mind. She
Yeah.
rolled an 8, so I'm guessing that's not going to do it.
Delightful, not gonna do it.
Great. You are level 10, so yeah.
You see the most embarrassing things that happened to her in 3rd grade. You see everything.
There's some weird shit in there. However, okay, yeah. So you're picking up now thoughts, imaginings, memories. You're even seeing a bit of what she was holding initially, and her thoughts about what she had been holding. That
Yeah.
bit of daughter, as you understand it now. A parasitic plant that leeches onto other plants for survival, like burrowing into their roots, their branches to draw nutrients off.
A mole.
Mole.
She's thinking about that.
Some
She's
mole.
thinking about that something about her timetable, something about how the way she wanted to do things today was rushed or disrupted. What happened faster than she wanted it to. And that there's also a poignant, intense sense of regret, of sorrow for something that she feels she needs to do that will be for the greater good, but she knows she cannot express to others who she might like to save.
Copy. Do you communicate any of that? I will in 1 second, but I'm gonna make it a little worse if you allow it. I would love to modify her memory.
Oh shit! What do you do?
I'm gonna take back whatever, like, if I see that she has a plan that she needs to enact, and you said that, like, something's rushed, so something in the last 24 hours has changed, and she's had to, like, change her plans, I want to take that away so that she thinks it's already taken care of and that she has nothing to do.
Interesting. Okay, yeah. So you get in there with your little mind scalpel and
Yeah,
you...
that is a wisdom save if you want to roll
Oh
it.
shit! You know what? You're honest. Inspiration again.
Oh my god, thank you.
Inspiration.
It's so nice to have lots of inspiration. How'd she do?
That was no higher than like a 7 again.
Incredible.
I should sit next to you all the time.
It's good here.
So do we, when that happens, does Kai get any sense of what the plan was or what changed?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll say, especially for that second roll, also being shit, I'll say from that, it seems like her plan was to create a backdoor for the Spring Wilds directly to influence events and the environment within Gestalt, which even though the town does use Fey magic, the actual Fey Wild cannot interfere in this place because of the wordings they have. She seems like she's told herself that there will not be many casualties from this, that it will not involve perhaps the scion who people have been talking about, who she's not encountered herself.
Probably just gonna be like one dumb wizard.
She's told herself that will
She's
not
smart.
be the case.
But
But she knows better, and she is lying to herself. She knows there may be dire consequences for this, but she does believe it is for the best if the Spring's plans are not interrupted at this time, because she has ideas to deal with them later.
So did she have something she was supposed to do in the next, like, 4 to 5 hours running up to the Beans Moot?
Specifically,
It's not a Beans Moot. I only wrote it down as Beans Moot and I keep saying it. I'm so sorry.
her plan was to plant the daughter much closer to the start of the moot, until she was approached by all of you and felt that there was a little bit too much heat and planted the daughter
She already
during
did
the
it?
conversation.
Ah!
Yeah.
Oh, she's already done it.
Wait, did
Okay.
she actually already do it, or is that her modified plan that...
She already did it while she was talking to you guys.
That's what happened.
Then I want to go back into her memory. And the thing I tweak is it can't be that far away. Pull it up and get the mole to do it. And I want her to hand it off to me. I'm going to plant myself in as the mole.
It can't be that far away. I'm sorry, so exactly what
I
do you
want her to
happen?
unbury. I'm like planting in her mind like a change in plan that she needs to like coordinate with the mole that from the Spring Wild that's here to help, which is me.
Interesting. Jesus, this power is fucked up.
This is the thing I do. I'm a spy.
Oh, this is so
So
intense.
good.
Okay, yes. You're working that in there. I will say, simultaneous to that, because you put out your bubbles.
I did. The same level of spyness.
This is just as good.
Yeah.
You put out your bubbles. And it was using that spell, detecting magical effects.
Yeah, magic awareness.
Magic awareness. I'd say roll me a nature check.
Okay.
I just want to see it happen.
Well, I do have an inspiration. Okay, 15.
Hey!
Hey.
You notice what appears to be some essence growing within the topiary. There it appears to be some kind of vine, weed, something that is working its way through, embodying the entire structure of it from inside.
Ella?
It
Ella?
reeks of Fae.
It's happening. It's happening right
Magic
now.
circle cast. I dropped that last little sprinkle.
Do you attempt to also begin casting planar binding?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you're
Well-
gonna start on it.
Well, hang on. I'm gonna check and see if I think it is the scion. I rolled a 17 on the die, and I've never done that before.
You took all my rolls!
Yay!
Good job.
Is that like a perception trigger or something? I don't know. Was it perception? Did I get to
So what were you rolling, sorry?
So I would like to, if as soon as he says that, I want to inspect the topiary as quickly as I can to see if this is what I've been waiting for, because I
Sure.
want to be able to start and make sure that as I activate that magic circle, that if I classify it as Fae, it's the right one.
Sure. I'd say combined with what Kettle is like saying to you and shouting, like, oh my god.
Is that what I sound like?
Well, that's a 24
Spot on.
Yeah, I'd say you, again, you're not
to say that
necessarily
number is
picking
very
up
high.
like the magical aura from it, but you do see what appears to be like a rippling under the leaves, as though something is growing into the structure of the topiary.
I saw the scion taking something over before. Like I've seen the scion appear before.
But
like,
it did have the bone seed armor.
But
That makes a
not
difference.
the first.
When you first
few
did the
times.
move,
Oh, yeah.
you never saw anything grow into the hedge. You just saw it become the scion at a certain point.
But
Although
I've
I
seen
will
the
say,
scion appear and invade other times.
you've seen the scion appear in flesh once at the Fantasy Chili's.
Yes, true.
You saw the actual physical scion, but you've never seen her possess anything else that I recall.
At the Rose Beast rave, didn't she?
Well, and
possess-
the on the ship, didn't she? Like,
Well,
kind of
you don't know if
appear?
that was the scion or not. All you
But-
know is
but Ella
vines.
thinks that.
Yeah,
Almost
vines,
got you.
But Ella thinks that.
Yeah, vines attacked the ship and pulled it into shore for sure. But you also know that was before the scion hatched,
Oh.
because you watched her hatch from her chrysalis.
Oh, right, that's true. Okay. But it looks like something's happening. Yeah, I'm just gonna assume that that's what's happening.
And it's all fake shit.
Yeah. So I cast magic circle, but the reverse kind, so it keeps something in instead of something out. So
Yeah.
it's all Fae are imprisoned.
All Fae
in this.
indoors.
Reverse,
cylinder.
reverse.
When she does that and all of that starts happening and like Kai's doing a million things, can I cast momentary stasis on the lady?
On my ear?
On Wair, yes.
You certainly can. What's that do?
Um,
Does it stace her momentarily?
It does.
yes.
Wow.
Nice, okay.
It does.
What save is
that?
that?
Is a
It
con
indeed do.
save of 15.
It do be that way.
Ooh. That was my first good roll.
Silvery barbs.
Oh, beans.
Yay!
I rolled like a 22.
Just one bean.
Yeah.
Do worse.
It was worse.
Yay!
How much worse?
Enough
Get
worse.
staced.
Get stazed.
Okay, so
And I give Klulik advantage on his next roll.
That's almost like
Yeah.
inspiration.
Almost.
Yeah, I give you inspiration.
What was this?
This is my. I got it, baby.
Is that ear this?
No, they're different.
Yes, Effie?
You're-
So what does she perceive? What
She's
happens?
encased in a field of magical energy.
Oh, like the rabbit thing from the other one.
Yeah, so this
What?
appears to kind of like
You
take
know.
her shape around her, but just on the outside of her. And it ripples with magic that changes colors like Effie's tends to. It like switches between this like muted rainbow and like glitches a little bit around her.
See how the orcs feel about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
It seemed like shit was going down. Am I wrong?
What's going down?
I'm just holding her in place. She's not hurt.
Okay.
We can all see.
That's
Why
very
is
visible.
it so bright?
Wait, okay.
Guern turns toward you all looking a bit irate.
A bit.
Clue.
You talk to Guern.
Klulik immediately
Hi.
projects double towards Guern.
Oh.
Like, cause Guern's a little far. Kai's busy.
Please, no, she's not.
No,
Klulik-
lost.
I'm just
Klulik just goes
explaining
over.
to you all the
They're literally
information.
not busy.
Yeah. Klulik just bounces over. Guern, hey bud, how are you?
Is this you?
Well, it's us because it turns out Guern is doing some bad stuff.
You're attacking the face of the Oranin.
No one's attacking anybody. She's cool.
Hey, there's a little plant in the ground that's making.
She's cool. She's kind of creating the scion.
On what proof do you have? You can't just put people in boxes.
That's 100% fair. Give me 1 second.
I wanna go try to rip it
And
out.
Klulik's other self is like, do we have proof?
I ran.
Kai's
I'm
trying to rip
running.
it out.
I'm running towards the bush. Sorry, I want to do something very fun here, which is I know your magic circle holds Fae in, so I run in to try to rip out the evil plant and get stuck in the magic circle.
Also, when he says, "Do we have proof?" I'm just gonna pull Guern to come and like look at the plant. And I'm like, "It's happening, and she's doing it. She planted it."
Yep.
And so you'd you'd reach in and try and grab like a fistful of daughter. And Dodder.
We gotta pronounce it a different way.
We've all
Be
been
here
there.
with D's.
Parody of the Clint Eastwood
Duder.
movie.
Yes.
And you get like stuck right there, like on the magic circle. You saw her plant that.
Yes.
Yep.
I told you.
You can't see me. You're under the ground.
No,
No,
no.
it's not.
So she's right
Oh,
here.
you're up here?
Yeah.
Tight. What's going on?
Up here because it is a 30-foot tall bush.
Yeah. Okay. I'm next to it, and I don't want to be anymore. Can I not be?
Would you like me to have tried to stop you while you were doing that before?
No,
you
it's
went
funnier for me to be standing there.
Okay.
I
fine.
said above game.
We need to deal with her discreetly. They're not going to understand why this is happening. Word's going to spread that there's some kind of attack on the orc leader. It's going down right now.
But of course, there's an attack happening. It's literally an attack by spring.
Right. They're going to think it's you.
Right.
So let's
The attack by spring hasn't happened yet, Effie.
It's happening
restrain
right
her.
now.
Pull her in. Fine. But we need to just tighten this up a little
Okay.
bit.
Can that be less visible, what you're doing?
No.
Okay.
No.
Can it be moved?
It just says the creature's encased in a field of magical energy. I definitely flavored it, but I would assume a magical energy anyone could see anyways. Yeah,
Roll
it's-
me an Arcana check.
Yeah, she's incapacitated with a speed of 0. I don't have advantage on Arcana, do I? Or no?
It's intelligence.
Yeah, that's an
Yeah,
intelligence roll.
that's it.
There's an evil plant. I wanted to
Uh,
Yes, we heard this. I'm keeping the Fae inside.
Yeah.
19.
I will say with that, you can recolor or texture the encasement so it was not visible if you'd like to.
Okay, I'll make it a camouflage.
Camouflage.
So she just vanishes. That's actually
Incredible.
super
God,
fucked up.
yeah,
That's
fine.
amazing.
Great.
I can also like move her. The only way that it ends is if I drop it or she takes damage. So I am not damaging her. So we can definitely like also like
So
scoot
she
her
slowly
in.
fades from
Yeah,
existence,
and
then-
and Oryx are like kneeling and crying at where she was, like thinking she's dead and gone.
Oh
like
my god,
Poppy.
the spring got her!
What? That's the plan.
Roll deception. Fuck off with that.
I don't have any help on that, but I do have some inspiration that I'm gonna use. Okay, that was good. That was pretty good. Ooh, I'm not good at deception. What can you do with a 16?
That's pretty good.
I have a minus
It was a
one.
17.
You say that, and people are a little like, they're not immediately disbelieving you, but they seem almost like what? And then, did you move her, by the way, or just keep her right there?
I don't think we can move her, can we?
Can you move her?
I'm definitely not strong enough to move.
Oh, you have to
an
physically
orc
pick her
person
up.
by herself. Yeah, I
Okay.
can't like magically. It's not part of the spell, at least.
You see what looks like little vines with some thorns and like little like chompy, grabby Venus flytrap mouths grow up around the place she was standing. And I'll say, because this is visible to you, he's hiding it from the orcs. You see on the other edge of the clearing with extreme bedhead Earth.
I forgot about her.
Hey, me too. You see Irv with just like all kinds of bedhead who like made those like carnivorous looking plants pop up to make it look like the spring. Like, oh, the spring got her. Shit.
Help me.
Yep. Yes.
Love that.
Yes.
Sweetheart, can you do that thing where you read people's minds and see if the scion's in there while you're doing this? Because you're stuck.
Yeah,
Sweetheart.
well, I'm just in here. Okay,
I can't.
sure.
I can't drop the circle if the scion's in there.
That's fair.
And you're still channeling.
I am waiting to find out if the scion's actually happening yet.
Okay.
Because I have one more thing to do.
Oh yeah, you're detecting the thoughts of nearby
Well, now I'm
Not
really
visible.
near. I'm inside the magic circle holding the daughter.
with a fistful of daughter.
Fistful of
Hate you
daughter.
so much.
Daughter.
Daughter.
Are you alive? And I listen to detect thoughts.
You see.
You can hear the ocean.
You
Here.
feel. you do feel percolating thoughts. They are not the coherence, the consciousness of a fully fledged mind. But there does appear to be a consciousness forming. And I'd say for how well you've been doing with all of the roles and all the mind bullshit and the pills.
And just all the work you've been doing on yourself.
This does feel like an incredibly nefarious entity with ill intent.
Cool.
Identity-wise, who's to say? But like, come on.
Come on.
Is it it? Is that it?
Yes, but it's not all the way cooked.
All right. I'm gonna cast Bane on the thing that I think I'm starting to, the presence that I think I'm starting to.
Okay.
I just hold the whatever branch.
All right.
I'm
I
holding.
cast Bane on it.
And
Great.
Kettle will stand ready to chop
I will
an
say
arm
it is
off.
percolating slowly.
Does
Like,
okay, so it doesn't feel like.
no, this is not imminent. It's just like it's beginning to grow, beginning to develop. But this might take some time.
All right, then I'll wait.
So here's our question: do we just want to kind of rip it up at the roots, or are we waiting for a full-fledged scion to show up?
It does seem like, though, for those who have perceived it more directly, that it has grown into all the various parts and is like then entrenching itself further. It would be very difficult to rip out at this point, but you can certainly try.
You want to blight this thing, or you really want it to be all the way?
If I
here?
blight it, I was say if I blight it, yeah, but if I blight it or bind it, I need it to feel it. Whatever. Okay, but
What I'm asking.
If you need it to fail a save, I can help.
So, but if it feels like it's gonna be slow, like I don't know, an hour.
Maybe!
We wait an hour.
No. So I pull. Okay. I really want to get you out of here, but I can't. So sorry.
fine.
Oh no, this is gonna be great. Leave her in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
No, she
I
knows
look
she's
at. I was
doing.
like, as soon as you start to really feel it coalesce, will you let me know so I can cast Bane on it? Since you're right there.
This is crazy, right?
Yeah.
This energy's crazy, right?
I pull out a like sparkling. It was a topaz, right?
I believe so. Big old topaz.
Like a fist-sized, like faceted topaz, and it starts to like glow very, very like dimly from the like deep, like within the center of it, and it starts to get like brighter and brighter as I kind of like step back from the magic circle and then just like start kind of like staring into it.
The hell is that?
Looking over
Ow.
and staring into it.
I
and
poked
looking up.
and it hurts to push through.
When it's time to get you out of there, let me know. I've got it.
Cool.
Meanwhile, I'd like to say Klulik is chatting with Guern. And
What's up, buddy?
So maybe if you want to just calm everybody down the best you can and let them know Scion is imminent and we've got it under control. I don't know how you want to message this, pal. Marketing's not really my thing.
This is some fucked up shit, buddy.
Right? It's a big deal. You should have seen the first time it happened.
Wait a minute. She said premonition.
Oh no! The first gun!
Back and eat.
The first gun ever!
The first Guern. He got to name it. He made the first one. Things
However,
have changed. Again.
listen, I appreciate what you all are doing. This is just, it's difficult for the people here to comprehend what's going on. Look,
Stop telling on yourself. If you're too stupid to understand what's going on, then just trust us.
You can let go of the daughter at any time and leave the
I'm
circle.
stuck in the circle.
No, she's stuck in the
What?
circle.
Are you Faye? Whoa.
I know.
Yes.
I know. They look like an ordinary gardener.
Wait, you work here.
Yeah.
Guy?
Yeah, it's me.
Oh, that's your motto.
There are layers to this thing you don't even want to get into, Guern.
Look, if things go south, I want you to have this.
They're going south.
Because I haven't given you any inspiration, and I feel bad about it.
Who is saying?
And he reaches into his pouch and gives you what looks like a horn.
Thanks, man.
Use this in times of great need. It can immobilize your enemies and turn the tide of a battle.
Like Gondor.
Yep.
Don't get it.
And you have received the Horn of Bubbles.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Can emit bubbles that can encompass and immobilize enemies.
Nar.
Yeah,
How did you have to do that?
I don't even have to churn.
Meanwhile, as all this calamity is going on, you're pointing.
If Kai feels anything, I have readied a vortex warp. That'll get you out of there.
Thank you.
That seems like you could just call it a vortex or a warp. Am I right?
Yeah.
But it's
fun.
not. It's both.
I love that.
Yeah.
We have
This just seems a little redundant.
another confessional.
Oh.
A confessional from before the rewind
Whoa.
for Plulik.
Ooh. Thank God it wasn't Effie. It would be very boring.
How far before the rewind?
Sometime during the shits going south of the rewind.
Oh, like in the...
In the midst.
Okay.
Like, this is what's happening in your mind.
Sure.
Count
Let's.
us in. Go!
Ah, yes, the traditional count-in of go. Let's just say that Klulik just got stomped, literally stomped, by a giant plant woman. It's just like, it's good, it's good. We got her on the ropes, I think. I got a lot of energy left. Was it a bad idea? Great question. Always a phenomenal question. Here's what I'm going to tell you this time. No. And here's why. She stole Dazzle. And she stole Squangarlo. And it doesn't matter how this goes. They're not allowed to get away with that. So we're good. We've got as much energy as we need. And we're going to make this happen. And I have never bled this much in my life. Oh my goodness. That's okay, I got one more. And he pops his astral self, his arms and his head, and he's like, I am going to go out swinging. Disappears.
Oh my god. Cut to black.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Like the end of the
Sopranos finale.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
Spoilers.
I'm so sorry. Tony dies in the end.
Why do you like this?
He had it coming.
Exactly.
Yep.
Meanwhile, the rest of you, all of you, including Klulik, it's just resume. Oh, sorry. So yes, right now we have planar binding being cast. You're in there.
Yeah.
Kettle is ready to scrap. Klulik, Effie, what are you doing with yourselves at this moment?
Right.
You were talking to Guern,
yeah.
but you're trying to wrap that up.
So yeah, kind of wrap that up, and and as Guern is walking away to talk to everyone, I was like, by the way, we sort of are gonna have to let this thing run its course and become as strong as it can possibly be. Okay, you message that to your friends. How are we doing?
So I am still readied with Kai. So I'm standing near Kai, waiting to get her out of there, but waiting for
You
also
can walk
like
through
the
the magic
cue.
circle as much as you want.
What?
You can go in
Only
and out
keep
the magic
staying.
circle. Oh. So you can like be next to me if you want. You don't have to.
Are you primarily outside of it, or are you primarily in it? I thought you just had an arm in.
No, I'm entirely within the magic circle. I cannot walk out of it.
Because she is also
I'm
Fae.
Fae, so I'm
That's
bound inside.
very
it.
They can go
funny.
in.
That's
Yeah,
why.
yeah, okay.
It was
So
funny.
I am. I thought you just had an arm stuck in this
Oh
whole
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Fantasy
Your
Hotel
arm.
California.
So yeah, I'm sitting in the circle then next to Kai, and I just go, I have no plan beyond this.
Oh no, none of us do. I think the deal is we're gonna let the big leaf lady happen and then we stop it, right?
Yeah, and we'll do better this time. And we'll not die.
Great. You ever heard this song?
Have I ever heard this song?
Roll. D20 flat.
I want a gummy bear.
It bounced in. Bounced in. 15.
Bounce here and there.
Oh my god, it's your favorite, right?
I haven't heard that since I like plane shifted.
Huh! I made up a song! I played something!
Hey,
Does anything happen?
we gotta talk about Ella.
Nothing currently.
Okay.
Yes.
What's your plan about Ella?
Oh, I don't have a plan. I'm going to be honest. I also.
Whisper.
I'm sorry.
Ella is like so focused and
yeah.
it's starting to get like brighter and brighter and brighter.
Staring at a topaz.
I thought you would all have a plan. Mine just better.
She's definitely pondering an orb, and here's what's happening. I know that I understand that her motivations for this are selfish, but I also think it's kind of the best course of action.
Okay.
I think the motivations are bad motivations, and we definitely. She's pondering an orb. She doesn't care.
She can hear.
We need to.
You can't see them, but they have ears.
We have to. No, I understand how a turtle works.
Turtle.
I understand.
Pull out a book of bird anatomy.
We're getting away from the point.
We're getting away. We're digressing, and all I have to say is, we're gonna deal with what's going on with her afterwards. Right now, we have to deal with this.
Ella and I had a chat. She doesn't want anyone to get hurt, but she's willing.
Is that what she said?
She said it wasn't her priority, but it wasn't like.
Oh, that's not the same thing.
No, but she's saying her goal wasn't for anyone else other than the scion. to get her.
Results-oriented thinking.
Right.
Usually
yes, no, you're correct.
creates
I'm
more
saying
casualties.
she's very willing to let anyone else get hurt.
Well, we're here, and we're not willing to let anybody else get hurt. You be on your best.
Hey, I'm ready to chop some feathers. Spit. I have sap on my hands.
Kettle,
What?
you said you would protect me, right?
Absolutely, but I will say, as my squire, you must learn to protect yourself.
It's my first go, so maybe after this one.
Right.
Technically, it's the second go of the first one.
Well, hope it's not your last one.
Gee, mini Christmas. Hey, I got your back, Effie. Don't breathe. You think?
Don't breathe.
No, breathe.
Do that.
Do breathe.
You want one of these pills?
Don't panic.
So lost. So lost. When you have a purpose problem. Wow. So lost. Spike the camera. Talk to your fantasy doctor today.
And spike the camera. And
Okay. We can do this. Great. Do you feel anything?
in terms of what?
Flick the plant.
You flick the plant?
Yeah.
Don't
Oh, you shouldn't have flicked the plant.
Fuck you.
Nothing actually appears to happen. It recoils a little bit, and you see it shimmer into the the greater hedge beyond. But
Effie?
it doesn't seem to directly react.
How much lady is in this plant right now? Can you detect it?
That's why the lady is a plant.
Really
Roll
quick,
quantify lady.
Hey, when I teleport her, I think you're going
Just
to
under an hour's
need
worth
to,
of lady.
Is this concentration?
Looks like a lady.
Oh no, Vortex Warp is not a concentration spell, so it's fine.
Okay. I'll try.
What am I gonna do? I guess
are
I can
you-
detect magic
So you're
again.
trying to see how
much
scioned
I'm trying to find out if the lady is a plant.
And that's why
Can I
the
give her-
lady.
I already made that joke. You can't sing it that broadly. I already did this.
Yeah.
No,
I did this bit.
Not
again!
Heightening.
It counts.
Is that a 1?
It was a 1.
Ew.
Damn,
That
you
means
did.
I do get to sing it.
Yeah, you do.
That's
you do.
why the lady.
It rolled back to a 1.
All right, so
I will use identify on it.
okay.
Oh.
Amazing.
Yeah. Okay. So you detect what appears to be a parasitic channeling spell of the Spring Fae, of the Spring Court. Something that is used to create windows, doors into planes beyond their realm. But it needs something to grow into and draw life from, otherwise it cannot create that. It'll die on its own.
What is a lady if not a door?
Hence
Okay.
hence the daughter. In terms of its progress so far, it does still feel like it's a little ways out. It was designed to be ready by the moot, and literally not even by the beginning of the moot, by like the later part of the moot. So it did start much earlier, but you feel like you do have some time yet.
Okay.
I need an hour, y'all.
We're only at like probably 20% lady so far. However, it needs something to grow into, or it can't.
I mean, it's got a giant lady.
Y'all, leave it be. Give me an hour.
You've got it.
There's a crash further away where,
Deal with
Put
that.
it in something smaller.
That's fine.
where the orcs are standing. And actually, Effie, you see as your camouflage stasis has broken and fizzled away. But Wire is not standing where that was. Instead, you see a teapot.
Ooh.
As she has been made thing.
Oh.
Is she a little teapot?
She's short and stout.
They turned her into a teapot.
Like you probably shouldn't drink
I picked
Wire.
the teapot, to be fair.
You shouldn't drink Wire. Maybe you should drink
You shouldn't
Wire.
drink Wire?
Hey, stand back. Do it.
Oh no, I forgot this.
Why did you do the
realization
teapot?
is-
I forgot
Set
the
in.
thing you do.
You
I've
chose
got this handled. Does anybody need a snack? It seems like we have some time.
Oh no,
I'll bring
don't
you
drink
back
my
some-
piece.
Okay. Bye.
Are you gonna drink Wire?
Klulik runs over, grabs the teapot, and goes, Guern, did you explain everything?
I'm working on it.
Okay, I'm gonna drink Wire.
You didn't have to tell me any of that.
We're not telling everyone everything today.
Is that Wire?
I think so.
I feel like we should be able to probably question her a bit and like
Oh,
understand.
okay. Let me. Hey, Wire,
Why
what do
she-
you want to do? It's tea now,
I
man.
don't imagine she's gonna be a teapot forever.
How do you know that?
How do you know?
I'm assuming.
How the fuck? What?
You're
Now you have
so
a
far
thought and an
away.
opinion? I can yell!
You can. Sound absolutely probably could.
Probably.
Could travel
I wonder
through
what
the
flavor
circle.
she is.
Me too.
Find out.
She is
know.
godmother to my children.
Oh.
All
man,
of them.
No.
Okay,
I'm
well,
pretty
that's
sure
on
she
you.
murdered at least two. She's not a mother, just a godmother.
You're a judge of character.
It doesn't mean anything.
Drinks
Sorry,
of the
this is
villain.
really hitting.
Rings
me.
of villain.
I happen to have 3 beautiful children that I am not the blood father of.
No, but that's not a godparent. A godparent is not a step parent. That's totally different. You're totally
There's no step. There was no marriage
It's
involved.
actually
Where are
that's
you
fair.
married?
Godparents
No.
have no parental responsibility.
I
Are you
beg
single?
to differ.
Who is your god?
Lilac, are you single?
I'm so sorry. The pills are really hitting.
Like terminally, yes.
Okay.
a little high.
I can't drink the godmother. Of
I
your
cease to
children.
have an opinion.
I can't
I
drink the
feel like
godmother
you have
of your
to
children.
roll for this. This feels supremely.
It's not real
You have
tea.
it.
It's not real tea.
You know what? I do want you to roll a wisdom save.
Okay. I'll roll a wisdom
Chuck,
save.
Chuck.
For your
It's not-
tea dependency.
You have advantage on this roll.
I do. My next roll has advantage. Why will I not?
That was so fun to watch.
That's why will it not?
Woo.
Hell. Okay.
I shouldn't have done that on camera.
Why does it keep doing this?
It's just a wisdom save.
It's
my
just
dude.
a wisdom save. I know.
You got dice right next to you.
Just roll a
I
die.
did it.
If you right click.
I'm gonna do it again because I have advantage.
It's like trying to talk to your dad.
No,
there you go.
I pushed the clicker. No, which clicker does the sound and which clicker does the TV? It's a 22.
Oh. You can resist the temptation of the tantalizing tea.
Wow.
Wow.
Unnecessary.
You have that one in your pocket, huh?
No, it just said I'm weird.
Listen.
You'll
Guern,
have to get ready if you stay ready.
take Wire. Keep her from me. I don't know how long I can stop myself from drinking her.
Oh my god, she's piping.
Yeah, I know. I
Well,
know.
I'll just straight up send her to another plane.
Look, we got a lot of ladies turning to and from a lot of different things today, and it's very confusing.
That's right.
Look, if she's a clear and present danger to the Gestalt.
Promise us you'll drink her. Promise if she becomes a danger, you'll drink her.
What is she?
Oh my god. She's herbal,
Is it like a lemon
floral.
zinger? Oh my god.
There's citrus notes and
It's a zinger.
rose.
Oh, it's a zinger.
I am. Oh no. I'm a sucker for rose. Why here?
Swig it. Drink her.
I'm so sorry.
Someone was going to.
Oh, it's pouring all over his face. Just soaking into the linens.
It's crazy that it's less weird
Guern,
in the magic circle than outside of it.
Yeah.
you and I are more alike than you know.
I do what I must for my people.
I respect you, Guern. You did what I could not.
I don't. I do not respect you.
It got weird, you guys.
Yeah.
Hey! Don't
Hey,
shame. We're
hey.
getting rid of one danger at a time.
Hey, can we rewind again?
Oh, actually, the
person
one
who
who
did that died.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Probably.
Look at your orb. No one's dead.
Who wants her?
Oh, is there any left?
Oh my god.
There's actually like a cup at the bottom, yeah, a cup's worth.
Oh god.
She tastes like she was a good godmother to your children.
Little orky, yeah.
Did you gain her power?
Yeah, do I gain the powers of a godmother?
Wait, don't you have a taste something if you taste
Do you know what it's made of?
I can identify anything. It
Identify.
tastes like orc godmother.
Yeah.
Oh.
But also lemon zinger.
You do suddenly feel like there might be some young orc child somewhere in the world who you are now the godmother for.
Oh my
You
god.
gained her godmother.
That's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
I've already got 3 kids that don't call me back.
What is call?
You know, on your stone phone.
Oh. The reception on here is shit.
He's a good shit.
Yeah.
We do have that.
Oh.
All right.
What's the percentage of lady now? Does anybody need anything? I can go grab you something.
She does reappear.
What? Who?
Wire.
What?
What?
And she, again, this is a temporary effect.
Yeah, but drinking her isn't.
But she was the
Where's she-
teapot,
did she
not
come-
the tea.
Oh my
was
god,
a
is she
teapot.
putting herself back together in
She
both of their stomachs?
reappears as a desiccated husk.
Oh.
What are we doing, you guys?
I don't know, but it's 8:51, man.
And we might go a little late tonight.
Oh. Premiere.
Why? It
It's a
feels like it's
premiere.
pretty wrapped up.
Yeah, I'm done. All right.
So Wire reappears. In
Yeah.
what state?
A desiccated corpse.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
A corpse?
Yeah.
Oh, she's dead.
Guern,
Yeah, they drank.
Guern,
It'd be
did
worse
you-
if she
I
wasn't
did.
dead.
I have
Yeah.
heard
Corpse.
that a living body is 70% tea, and we have definitely look. She was a traitor for sure.
Puts her into your beak. Spring did this.
Sure, bud.
We all agree.
Do not.
Spring did this.
Forget. Spring did this.
Spring did this. That's a fact.
You dap on a pack?
I have a family
It's
to
that
inform.
Oh my god.
It's a palindrome.
Bring me a Bring me a snack.
Effie,
Yes.
I'm bored in here.
you're hanging out in the
Okay, I guess I'm
circle.
really boring.
No, you're great.
You're hanging out in the circle with Kai.
Yes.
Yeah, we're cutting over there for a
I'm
second.
enjoying us.
Boring her out of her mind.
Yes, clearly.
I'm also here.
You're listening to a audiobook, a fantasy audiobook.
Audiobook.
Always.
Audiobook.
You see as Ella's effect starts to take effect.
Cool.
And I'll say Ella as because now let's say it's been like 15 minutes. It's like it's chipping away at it. What does it look like as this begins to build, as the effect begins to set in?
I
What
take
does
a
that look
short
like?
rest.
No, if anything.
So I think that, and this is probably one of the first times that Ella has like obviously done any kind of magic that includes components that aren't like baking or food related. This is like a very like purely magical, like arcane working. And that like the light in the faceted jewel starts to like get brighter and brighter and brighter, and as it starts to kind of make its way out to the like exterior and like the outer shell of the jewel, it starts to like beams of that light start to kind of shine around and build like this little cage of almost like laser like light beams around it, and it starts to like draw as the light gets brighter and brighter and brighter and like pours out of this jewel, like draw almost like a cage around the
Literally, hell yeah. This magic, as it builds and starts to form to weave that encasement that will ultimately bind the creature they're in, you see as it starts to react off of some kind of opposing magical force, as though there were something attempting to resist that what you are building, and that almost knows you're trying to do something here and is fighting it a bit. Unsuccessfully so far, but this intersecting of this vivid verdant energy with the topaz yellow of the cage sparks, and all of a sudden, Effie, inside of the magic circle, you see a spark ahead of you, and you see something fall towards you that lands in your lap, almost like it were brought from some other place. And it's a tin can. And there's a label on it. And it says, Shimmy Stan's Ordinary Glands.
Oh. No.
It appears to be a can of sweetmeats, sweetbreads.
I can get outside of the magic circle. Just a little bit. Just
Glands,
like,
really?
toe it forward.
Really?
Glands, yeah. I'm running out of words.
Okay.
Wow.
So you have this awful product.
Literally.
And
FFAL.
Both. Yep.
Do I have any idea
Oh.
what it does? Does it have any label on
you want
it?
to read the label?
Yeah.
Um,
Love reading.
Do not
Just
consume.
reading so
Don't-
much.
don't eat it.
Yeah.
It appears that because, the Shimmy Stand chefs have been hard at work in the Shimmy Stand kitchens to bring you the best offal this side of this country. I made it up. I should know better. However, it seems like it supercharges your physical processes, the way that your body operates. It's not totally clear in how it does that, but it's like Popeye spinach, you could say.
It's just
You'll
to be
be my
strong
family.
to the finish.
Please,
It also
it's
says
just-
your
it's
grandparents
soup for my
really
family.
love it, and they're disappointed that you don't.
Yes.
I'm having a weird
Yes.
day. I'll toss it back.
Oh no. You didn't prepare that in any kind of way. You're just eating it out the can.
Oh,
Sick.
I'm not used to
Literal-
this stuff. I
yes.
thought that's what you guys did.
No, hold on. Look, I know you didn't get bought, but I want to pull out. I want to do a media spot for Dew Apron, a plant-based meal delivery company. The plants will eat you if you don't make the meal right away. But it's good to. You could just open it. It's fine. Don't worry. And just throw.
Oh no, that's
the kid
probably a good idea.
Yeah. And we just saute those sweetbreads real quick. There you go.
Bam.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I cook up me gizzard to feed to me wizard.
Oh my god.
I'm the Dead Sea Shimmy Stand.
Fuck, I want to go home.
That was amazing. That was
Wow.
synergy.
That was really good, y'all.
Corporate synergy.
Corporate synergy.
Just gonna keep pondering my.
We have on that, as the spell continues, and even shortly will near its close. In the meantime, though, we have a confessional for Earth. That's me.
Welcome to
Welcome to Earth.
That's all he says.
Sweeter.
End of confessional.
Count me down.
You're in.
Listen, dudes.
No.
It's been a rough few hours. Hey, guess who else remembers the rewind? This guy. But I wasn't sleeping down there the first time we did this. I was in the woods.
Oh.
So it took me a while to hike back, but I finally got here, and lo and behold, they're freezing ladies inside of boxes, and trying to play it off as some spring shit. So I'm like, what? I'll totally help with that. Always down for some shenanigans. Don't do that. However, I think I'm figuring out now what's going on. It kind of seems like the turtle lady is trying to bind the scion in the hedge so she can't do that scion shit. And I think, well, I think I can lend a helping hand. Meow meow.
Do it for myself.
Because it's taking a long time.
It's an hour casting time. In fact, I had my idea for my corporate thing.
As the muttering turtle.
I'm sorry. What, are you muttering? Is that an incantation you're muttering?
Earth.
Code.
The passive aggression can't trip.
That one's free all day. It's free all day.
That's at will.
Yeah.
Earth walks over to you, Ella, and says, "Hey, listen. I'm gonna do something. It's gonna be kind of weird."
Is it weirder than any of the other things that are happening right
Nope.
now?
The,
All right.
the tea thing was kind of the peak for me.
Honestly.
What tea thing? It was Spring. Spring did it.
Listen, if you can remember this, because I know how things get week to week here, but
All right, hang on. Let me write it down. Jesus. All right.
you need to find the other aspects. You need to find the other druids.
Didn't you already tell us to do that?
I did, but I thought maybe nobody would remember. It's
I
been a
definitely
little while.
didn't remember.
Yeah, there you go. See, so that's gonna be fall and winter. Theo and Haleth, not respectively. I switched them.
Right, because you couldn't find them.
Right. Yeah, we need to all be brought together, and we can help you end this thing. But I'm gonna go somewhere now.
Why?
Because, well, let me show you.
And you see Ella as this is slowly taking place and the energies are fighting back and forth. And you see that the powers of the Springwald are actively trying to resist this spell, for sure. And there is still a save to be made. That said, Earth,
Can I touch your shoulder?
Sure, sweetheart.
Earth places a hand on your shoulder. And you see as his skin almost like turns to the texture of bark from which leaves it grow. His eyes flower into giant daisies out from his head. And you see as his body is slowly absorbed into the earth. And this power of the Fae is channeled into you from him as he is swept off somewhere else. And you see as these energies fighting against each other in this spell are banished away. And the Fae, the spring is withdrawn for a while. And you see as the cage encases it in mere moments, completing your spell in perhaps half the time. And the hedge is bound. Meanwhile, as you all see this cage come to the bottom and solidify,
and that jewel is like totally like it's like almost like liquefied and like poured into that light. It's totally gone.
now, is this represented purely as a cage surrounding the creature for you, or does it like become them? Does it bind more closely to them? How does it look when it finishes?
So when it finishes, I think it absolutely does kind of start to compress in.
Yeah.
And mold in a full for like glowing aura around it, like it's like a shell.
A shell.
Those of you standing amidst the topiary, you see as the leaves of the hedge bristle. A wave pattern like 1,000 fanning butterflies rippling over its body. And in the wake of that motion, you see its form has changed. It is feminine. And a sickly sweet smell permeates the air like vanilla and almonds, but twisted into a sickening, cloying degree. The hedge's eyes flicker closed and then open once more. The flower petals pouring from them changing from a soft blue to a lilac tinge. and she looks down and smiles at those who are at her feet. In the meantime, she must make a save. Is that right?
So as soon as that is complete, I immediately look at her and just say, oh, bless your heart, and cast Bane.
Okay.
And then
Would I ever disadvantage on this?
No, but I also
minus a
call
D4.
to Effie.
D4, okay.
Yeah,
Got you. I'm watching.
because I want her to mess this up real bad.
Okay. I'll roll the D4. I got a 0. On the die, there are bonuses, but like your spell save DC must be what, above 14, 15 at this point? You're
How's it
fine.
feel, Vince?
I love the scene engagement.
I rolled
She's
a 4
so
on the
powerful.
D20 and then a 4 on the D4, so I got 0.
Delightful.
How's it feel?
Ladies and gentlemen, Kaylee Bray has an
weekend.
entire night of good rolls.
Wait, actually, it's not over yet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's still time to.
Roll the intro. No. Please no.
I'm like, where's the camera?
And the scion looks from the little people at her feet and glances up towards you, Ella, and you see again that big kind of thorny grin peel over her face. And she says, "Clever little buds. You especially, Ella. I am impressed at your magical contrivance. It appears you are in control. He is quieter in my mind, further away."
I'm not your bud.
I think
That's
it's
a buddy
time.
guy.
Not your guy, bud.
I'm not your guiding her.
I think it's time for you to kneel.
She actually is already kneeling.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, because that's the default position of the hedge, was kneeling down.
Oh, never
She
mind.
puts the other knee down
I guess.
and like just sits on her legs.
I thought it was gonna be cool. Never
I'm
mind.
so sorry.
Tell me,
Ruin that for me.
where is she? Your friend, who there has been so much fuss over. The Fae girl.
Who could say?
Hard to tell, really.
Which one?
Yeah, that's actually a good question.
Oh, you all have no idea. The powers you contest, you will know the reckoning of Dew. Power so sheer in his beneficence.
Hey, Effie, can you just take a couple steps back really quick? Thanks.
Sure.
The moment she exits the circle, you remember that summer super just nova like boom power I have? I would like to do within the circle just to shut her up a little bit.
Yeah. It's just like motherfucking explodes.
Yeah,
Right?
I would
Yeah,
like to
okay.
explode. Just like, hey, shh, 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 shh.
Beautiful. How far back do you step, Effie?
How far back does she tell me to step?
Out of the circle, right?
Yeah, I'm out of
Yeah,
the circle.
she can move
entirely.
freely. Like 40 feet.
Yeah,
She just runs.
I do. As soon when Kai is like back up, I'm like,
Beautiful.
I run to
Kai,
Kulik.
Did I say if this affected you or not?
It never has before.
Have you used this before?
I have.
Oh shit. Okay. Then yeah, fuck it. Roll. Do you remember the damage it did?
Nope.
Good. Roll 10d10
Oh, that's only 10.
as you set off the nuke.
Yeah.
I also step back, I guess.
I am also here.
Or just, hey, sweetheart, do you want to get just
Please roll
everybody
good.
in the shell for a second?
Okay. 53. Let's double that damage, baby.
Oh, never mind. I'm fine.
106 points of damage.
Never mind. I do step back,
also-
actually.
yeah.
Yep, nope.
We're heroes in a half shell.
Just like a fucking cloud goes up over the scion, and you see, as you singed off like all of the actual topiary, and she's just like this network of daughter. These moving and threading vines are like working to reassemble and reconnect. She still is crying those lilac flowers
Cool.
and looking down at you, but unable to do anything about it at present.
Klulik walks up next to Ella, and is like, "May I put my hand on your shoulder?"
Sure, sweetheart.
And he puts his hand on her shoulder and he goes, "Scion of Spring, We are the family of Dazzle, Valor, Ionra, Azudal, Drakkar Velohas. You have taken something from her, and we want to know how you will return it.
Where is Dazzle?
Oh my god.
Excuse me?
Where is she?
Isn't that the dead one? The one of your
One of
friends?
Yes.
Did you sound a little? Did you
Squangarlo,
sound a little
can
bit
you
like
hear us?
Squangarlo? There's a guy.
Squangarlo,
Puppies.
Oh, Squangarlo.
return him to us.
The one who fed my transformation, who was mulched, I believe.
That's.
You say that like I'm not about to hurt you again.
I cast Blight again for fun.
Oh, that's fun.
I'll say we can just do the damage. Like clearly, you're seeing as the.
Yeah, it automatically
Yeah.
happens.
It's
I
like
mean,
maxed for plants, right?
Yeah, 64.
yeah, you see as the vines again like wither and weaken, and they then begin to try to reassemble again. I don't have Squangarlo, and if I did, I could not provide him to you.
Who could?
Well, that would be my master.
Then why do we leave you alive?
Yeah,
How do we break this connection between you and Do?
I spit and it just hits the edge of the magic circle.
Yeah.
I need to get out of here.
Moving your face.
Face
spit.
spit.
You're out. You're out of the circle.
Yeah.
Oh,
Puppies, let me out.
Oh, when he is finally ready to step across that barrier to break his concordance, you will know spring. I cannot violate the connection. I cannot feed.
When he. Yeah,
It.
I heard my other characters last
So
night.
did I.
I cannot feed it back and sever it myself. How would you?
How do we sever this
I
connection?
cannot think of any way beyond the ending of Do.
How? But ending Do, we can't end Do with you still in existence, correct?
That is not correct.
I want to hurt her again.
You
I
go ahead.
am his vessel to occupy in this world. I am not keeping him alive. If he dies, I will persist.
How do we kill Do?
He is as a god. Even I do not know how to end Do Springbloom.
Detect thoughts.
Planty.
Yeah.
It's
Cool. I don't care about the surface ones. When she thought about
Oh yeah. You have to tell us the truth. What is it?
silvery barbs.
I was in that 20.
Yeah, suck my butt.
And that was a 3!
Yay!
Got him.
I hate it here.
Also, welcome. To
Okay, so
This.
deep thoughts.
Well, no, I very specifically want to tune in when she says, "I don't know a way to kill Do Springbloom." Is that true?
It actually is. She does not appear to know how to kill him. In fact, you pick up on the fact that she does not know much about him at all directly. She has only ever existed on this plane. She has never met Do directly, but is being controlled by him.
Directly.
Her whole job is just to be a thing that Do inhabits so he can be here.
But if
Isn't
it
that
if it
sad?
if it comes one way, we can send it something back through that connection.
But isn't that sad for you? You don't know him. You don't know his thoughts or his plans. You are just a shell he's meant to fill.
He gave me life.
Yeah, for what?
He brought you forth into servitude. That is not the
I
same
made
thing.
an agreement, and he honors it by.
At what cost? You are now subservient to a turtle going through a dark phase.
I do not make choices. I act on his behalf.
Wouldn't you like to make choices, though?
I don't think.
Coward! Why don't you try?
Even if I desired to, I couldn't, could I? Because I am under your control. What would you have me do?
I'm just whispering like, bully her, help me bully her.
Oh, great. Phantasmal Killer.
Quoi?
I'm casting Phantasmal Killer.
What does that do?
You tap into the nightmares of a creature that you can see within range and create an
Ew.
illusory manifestation of its deepest fears, visible only to it. And then if you're tapping into its brain, you could see it.
Yeah.
I'm also gonna tell me what you see.
We're all in this.
And it's also going to do a shit ton of damage. Make a wisdom save.
Fail your wisdom save.
What's your spell DC?
15.
No. Okay. I was 1 point shy.
I just made you re-roll it.
Okay.
We're bullying tonight.
Tonight
You
we
make
are.
her live, view, to see, to experience her deepest nightmares.
Yeah, and I do 5d10s of damage as well.
Ow. And you are tapping into her thoughts at the time she's going through that. Fuck me. Kai. You feel yourself experiencing the sensation of loss. Of someone you love being taken away, or more accurately, the possibility that you would lose them. You feel water filling your lungs as you are drowning, as you cannot breathe, you choke, you gasp, as you see light pulling away ahead of you, the sun blotted out by the oppressive darkness of a deep sea. And that is the nightmare she is experiencing as Effie. Cast that! Oh, sorry. Whoa, hey, whoa, let's all take it easy.
Everybody be cool, everybody be cool.
Be cool.
Do we recognize any of the other voices? Like, is it just her voice? Do we? Because we hear Squangarla. Do we recognize any of the other ones? Are there other ones? I'm trying not to read in too much, just in case. If you're just.
Everybody is welcome to roll an investigation check.
Nope.
I'm gonna use
18.
I got 3.
I have inspiration I haven't used yet.
Oh, so do I.
Dirty 20.
Still bad.
Investigation.
That's a 1. Spill it.
15. Effie?
18.
18.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
12.
12.
1.
Effie and Kettle, you are the most attentive to the apparent differentiation of personalities and voices that you hear coming in and out. The problem is the other ones that are seeming to flit in for just a moment don't sound like anyone to you. You don't recognize the other voices, or even hers for that matter. Ella, you do notice that there is like a flitting back and forth, but you're not picking up identities clearly. It just sounds like there's a lot going on in there, and it's not evident.
Tell me who else is in there with you.
While you take 37 points of damage.
Ow!
Yay!
And you see the lilac flowers tinge red as though she was bleeding from the eyes as she takes that damage, and leans down almost like just curling over herself a little bit. Tell me who else is in there with you.
Now I will say, just like for like full.
Oh, I read the whole
transparency-
spell.
Okay, so you have it, yeah.
I
'cause,
know
like,
exactly
there-
how it works. Trust me, I've prepared for this moment.
Oh.
Since last season.
I've been trying to cast the spell for so long.
Let's go.
It already cast it. Takes an hour.
There is only me in here.
I buy it.
What's she thinking about? What's she thinking about when she answers that?
Because that was Squangarla's voice, right? Or was
I
it her?
can't confirm anything. Wait, what?
Scion type stuff, I guess.
I'm
she's-
in her brain. By the way, I'm braced on Klulik. I think during the drowning thing, she prestidigitated like sort of subconsciously and was like vomiting out illusory water while all that
Because
was
the
happening.
drowning is starting to make me very worried.
I mistook that just for you spitting at dew, and I was like, wow.
I got good.
A fucking
Getting really
faucet.
into it. You were just having spit, so.
I'm just looking at Kettle, and I feel like Kettle's looking back at me, and we're just like,
I could do that too if I wanted.
She appears to be telling an essential truth.
Okay.
She cannot lie to you, but as the spell dictates, she will always attempt to execute any command to serve her own benefits, albeit she must do them to the letter of the command.
Okay. And she's not thinking about other people that maybe she consumed in order to get here?
She actually is not.
Wild. Think about the other people that are inside you.
I get the feeling she doesn't think very much.
Not really.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, what do we want to do? You're taking the point on this one.
He knows what you've done. He knows that you are in here. And he will not let this stand.
Oh, what was it?
There are worse things. There are worse things than me coming for you.
Okay.
Gross. I would kill you if I could.
You can't, though.
I make you this promise. There is nothing worse than me. Not for you.
You know, I am so glad you got away. Because I can hunt you all the better. You think you've captured my body, my form.
Yeah?
But I merely possess this topiary. I am still out there, and I will not stop until... And you see as her head cracks down with a deafening snap, like the breaking of a neck. And all of a sudden, it cracks back up to face you all, bearing radiant green eyes.
I chop it off.
The lilies.
Hang on, sweetheart.
No, you don't.
I chop it. I chop
Yeah,
it.
you do, you do.
I chop it.
You want to jump up there and just do a chop?
Oh, yeah.
No. Oh, boy.
I support you.
That's
Beautiful.
fine. Everyone deserves a chop. Huh. Bardic inspiration.
Are
Chop
you
again.
going for the head?
Yeah.
Careful, spirit. Okay.
Roll an attack, yeah, make an attack roll.
Yeah.
And then also make an athletics check just to jump 30 feet in the air.
Oh, that's only a
20.
9.
You can add a
That's true,
D10.
20. You
20.
can jump off the wall.
Okay, 18 for this attack, and then acrobatics, you said? Natural 1!
No, re-roll that.
Reroll.
Athletics, not.
Oh, natural 20!
You jump up
Thanks are fun.
22.
and bring your axe down onto
To be
this
clear, I use Chronal Shift.
the hedge's neck. And as you do, it reaches up and grabs you, not dealing damage, but holding you as the axe like is partly into its neck. And he says, "I'm so sorry, my sassy little friends. It appears that my scion still needs a bit of work. I give you a little kiss.
You didn't ask!
I
You have to ask.
immediately rage.
Have to ask.
Yeah.
So Kel
Whoa.
starts raging.
Ooh, he's boiling.
And it starts boiling off, but on
Oh,
top
no.
of that, there's also an unstable backlash. Your rage, because it's the wild magic rage.
Let's go.
So, roll on the wild
Working
magic
Kel over.
table.
Please stop.
Little massage.
Oh, no.
Hold on, I have to pull it up.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
I don't know.
It won't go.
It's not just me.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, mine's been super glitchy tonight too.
It's fine.
So you hurt.
Yeah.
You do hurt things.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So you rage.
Yep.
You boil.
Yeah.
You froth.
Yeah.
You steam.
A different kind of bubbling for today.
The vines grabbing you. Steam like vermicelli. Getting like hot and
Loose.
looser.
Echo in the Bunny Men song.
And the grip shifts enough that he just like drops you down like
Ah!
this. I'm afraid it's time for me to kill you all, though. I'm so sorry. Toodles! And then he's reaching out, and you see as he grips this aura that you put around the scion initially, and you see as fingers of vine pierce through the barrier and begin to drag almost like crunch a hole into it that he starts to step through until he stops, pausing for just a moment.
I put my
And says,
camera up.
oh me, oh god, no. And the mouth of the remaining topiary, the mummy's open. And out from its, in the mummy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
yeah,
good.
Oh,
good
God.
noun verb. Good noun verb.
God, my brain did not understand.
Is that another flower?
Yeah, like chrysanthemum. Okay, okay.
Opens
Chrysanthemum.
wide, and from its innards comes an absolute tsunami of blue flower petals that it ejects all over the field around you, with two humanoid figures riding on it like a water slide almost. The topiary, what's left of it, goes to just shreds and pieces at your feet, collapsing and disintegrating entirely as the two figures climb out of the waist-deep pile of flowers. The first to emerge is Poppy, holding, as well in her hand, a suit of armor. It looks like a bit of chainmail. Smiling and pointing behind her as she bounces back towards you all. I hope I'm not too late. I brought a friend. She says that she knows you.
Run
And
straight into the magic circle because I haven't
Poop.
dropped it
Oh.
yet. Sorry.
and as the second figure emerges, standing, I will say she kind of threw up like over the circle in a sense.
Okay,
Yeah.
There was an arc on it. As the second figure emerges, standing tall to take you all in, because we hit our goal for tonight, I would like to pass the camera over to Xander Jeanneret.
Oh, hello there. Oh my god. It looks like you could use some help with the Spring Wild. It's me, Bora!
Employee of the month! Again! Yeah, exactly.
And you all see Bora Farfoot standing before you.
Ella bursts into tears.
Oh, Klulik runs right up. Uppies!
Sure.
Are you single?
No, I'm very
No,
married.
happily married.
Like how happy?
Very happy. Very cool wife.
Listen, I saw this person, Poppy, running around, and it sounded like she was with some familiar friends. It's good to see you again, both of you.
Oh, you too. We missed you. It's good to have you here.
Well, I've got some good news. I think I know a weakness to do spring bloom. Oh, why are we... Everyone's spitting.
Do you not like spitting? What is that?
Happily married.
Says you. I don't know your spouse.
What is it? What is it?
I have some allies that we'll have to go and visit, but we can definitely do this together. I'm asking you to trust me, but come with me
Of course.
Where are we going?
to the Spring Wild.
Nope. No, I actually changed my mind yet.
And on that, Bora suddenly turns into a souvenir train set.
Is it blue?
It's blue. It's blue. And that is where we are ending for tonight.
Joke's on you. I love trains.
Hey, is he host scale?
Yeah.
Y'all, are you jazzed or what? That's right. Fuck yeah. Bora is going to be, as primarily an NPC, joining the plot of Campaign 2 to help our heroes push through the next stage of their journey.
Amazing.
It's going to be very wonderful, very exciting.
Who's the blue train lady?
But in the meantime, y'all, thank you all so much for turning out, for supporting us to that incredible extent. We hit the goal like literally halfway through. Y'all are amazing. Thank you so much. Before we leave you all for tonight, let's go around the table one more time. Tell everyone who we are, who we've been, where to find us.
Sweet. Hi. Shit.
Let's roll that intro!
Roll my intro back to one. Back to one. Hi, everybody. I am Guern. I've been playing Kai, your changeling bard. You can find me on social media at Quiddy, QIDDIE. You go watch Exandria Limited Calamity over on Critical Role's channel. We're doing a talk back on Tuesday at 7 p.m. and we'll be talking about just the pile of trauma that was that very fun mini-series. Also on Fridays, not tonight, but next Friday, you can catch me, watch it after this, catch on New York by Night. It's the brand new Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle, where I play a idiot Venturo that has asked so many questions because she's brand new to being a vampire and a really big Cardi B fan. That seems like all of my stuff for now. Bye.
Not new to being a Cardi B fan, just
No.
new to being a vampire.
Yes.
Got it. Hi, I'm Anthony Carboni, and I've been playing Cluelick, your honest, forthright, and caring Eric Okra monk. You can find me on this very channel 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific time with Sage. It's too early. That's the name of the show. And it is, it's our fun pop culture news show, and we love it, and it's really wonderful. You can also find me everywhere on the internet at A Carboni, except for here on Twitch, where I am at Anthony Carboni. Twitch, you cowards, it's mine. Give it back to me.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kaylee Bright. I was playing Ella Britt, your death cleric who got a little bit emotional at the end.
Stop
It was so
crying.
good to see Bora. And you can find me all over everywhere on the internet at Hubble Barbarian. Check out Local Legends. We're able to shoot some fantastic one-shots, one of which I DM'd, which we realized was my first time DMing in the studio, which is so weird to say.
'cause it's all been Zoom.
Everything's been Zoom.
Yeah.
Since we had the studio, I've never been over there. It's a weird vibe. I don't know.
Did you use
Vince
his
left
butt
a weird
pillow?
vibe.
I
Yeah.
did. I used the booster seat. Also, check out Journeys Through the Radiant Citadel, Fiend of Hollow Mine, the one-shot that I produced for D&D Beyond. Some incredible people on that game. And it's very cool. I'm very proud of it.
You're very cool. We're very proud of you.
Very cool.
Hi, I'm Sage Ryan. I go by Not Sage everywhere on the internet, but most of the time I'm just here. I'm in a bunch of other places, but mostly I am in fact here. As the things he said, and the things she said.
Oh, thanks.
Good night.
Amazing.
And I'm Xander Genre at Xanderific with 2 R's and 1 F. I've been both Kettle and Bora. You can find me at Xanderific on Twitter and on Twitch, where I'm streaming both Vampire Swan Song and Zelda. We're almost done with Ocarina of Time.
Whoa!
And we're going to be starting our next season of Shikar, which is more D&D over on that Bronze Girls channel. We did our one-shots, and now we're back to a full squad. So check out my socials for all of that, and yeah.
And I am Vince
Wait, hold on.
Casso.
Shut up. There's one more thing we forgot. San Diego Comic-Con schedule got announced.
Did it get announced?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, yeah, we're going to be in a live show at Comic-Con.
Hell yeah!
Run by Bria!
We've been waiting to say it!
There we go.
Oh, damn!
We super knew that it was gonna happen.
It's gonna be, who's it? What's it gonna be so fun?
Wait, it's gonna be around this time, around this day. It's on the Friday of Comic Con.
It's on the Friday of Comic-Con.
We'll double
timing,
check
I
the
think, is
timing.
I think it's like
as
in the
earlier.
morning.
Is it morning?
It's at like, or whatever, Comic-Con morning, like 1 p.m.
Hey,
I
we're
believe it's
gonna,
like 1 p.m.
Yeah.
we're gonna let you all know, but it's very exciting.
Yeah.
It's me, it's Sage, it's Kaylee, and who else is?
We're doing a really formal announcement here.
Who else is on it?
Omar?
Omar, and you.
I'm
We're
running
running
that
it.
shit.
Yeah.
Well, you guys just
It's
keep
a
it
lot.
on.
We're doing a
Gina.
great job.
Gina's on
Gina,
it.
who's
And
not,
Gina.
who will be back, we promise.
She's fine.
She's not actually dead.
I ate her.
But it's gonna take a while to. It's like a snake.
the
Vince, who are you?
announcement. The schedule wasn't supposed to drop when we didn't know it was gonna drop.
Hey Vince.
Hi, I'm Vince Casso. I've been your DM for tonight.
Prove it.
And unwilling to give up that much shit about the Scion so early. So that's great. Check me out here every Friday for this shit. Also on socials at Vince Casso and on the Becca Scott channel. It is the Becca Scott, right?
Yes.
On Twitch for more local legends
I'm in that
shenanigans
too.
with Sage,
Yay!
with Michelle
Whoa.
Wynn Bradley, and
Whoa.
with Carlos Luna.
Yay!
We had some
It's his
really
birthday
fun
today.
shenanigans. Yay! Happy birthday, Carlos. We know you watch.
Happy birthday to you and Mark Zuckerberg, the 2 people who watch us every week.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
We have
True.
many more episodes of that
He doesn't
coming
have a
out. The
birthday,
first one dropped a few days ago, I believe it
Something
was.
like that.
A couple days ago. They're going to be rolling out various Wednesdays through July, so tune in for that as well. And I love you. Good night.
Goodbye, friends.
Bye.
See, we didn't know that the schedule for Comic-Con was going to
Right.
come
See you
out.
next week.
Go to black. Go to black. Go to black.
Roll the intro.
Yeah, starting